Who else was there?
Oh
my god!
Oh my god!
What happened? What happened?
That was not.
That's
was
a
not
cursed
on
to
the-
exercise that
recording.
Actually spooked me. That was not.
Last time on Patria.
That was
Yeah,
awful.
Zordon.
Oh, that
Fucking
was
Zordon over
truly
here.
awful.
Ranger.
That was great. I love that.
Oh my
We've
God.
never heard Craig talk. That's how
That's
Craig
actually
Your
what-
sounds the
voice
entire
is
time.
awful.
That's what Nara. That's what Nara
Craig
says when he
shouldn't
wakes
talk.
up. Actually.
Now recording.
Now
Power
recording.
online.
What it's like to
Gracious
have
to
a
the
kid
world.
mind.
Oh god, that was really,
Game mode
That
online.
was really off-putting.
Emote online.
Watch
I'm
me
gonna-
scare these D&D
Hold
guys.
on, let me put that in the Patreon chat.
Straight
for the
module
bot.
error.
FYI,
Downloading game module.
Craig suddenly having a voice made me shit my pants live on
Not
Twitch.
clickbait.
Not click
Thank you.
live on
Big
Exercise
okay,
him.
man.
Big Ounce dies.
Get the demon out of that thing.
That was truly horrifying.
That was
I don't
awful.
You have to keep that in the recording too. Just all of us freaking
I don't
out.
know if it will be, but we'll see. Okay, I'm gonna click the Twitch button now. Are you ready?
Oh shit.
Oh man.
Wait,
I
Twitch.
mean, I guess.
Zoinks.
Too late. I already clicked
Like
it.
Zoinks.
I know.
Dude.
I know what.
Like
I
Zoinks,
know what
dude.
Twitch is.
We gotta get out of here, man.
I forgot how good you were at the Shaggy voice.
So weird.
Ah,
Like Zoinks.
Like Zoinks.
Oh my God.
I'm gonna smoke a fat
Oh
joint
my God.
live on Twitch.
Share.
We've
already gone
We're
nuts.
live on Twitch.
What is this?
This stream has already gotten out of hand.
Oh my god, make it go away.
Nuts the stream is.
Ah,
This is all in the recording.
yeah.
This
This
is
is
rare.
I have to do something memorable in the beginning so that like when I come back later nobody questions it.
Yeah, exactly. Why are you not appearing online, Tyler? I'm trying to watch your stream.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, give
I
me the
can
numbers.
see it.
That being said,
There you are. There you are.
Welcome to
Hey,
the
found
world
ya.
of Twitch delay.
Hey everybody, my name is Markiplier, and welcome to another episode.
Oh no!
amazing.
All right.
Hello,
my name's
everybody.
Hello,
Welcome back
everybody.
to
My name
Five
is C
Nights
Manners,
at
and
Freddy's.
today we're gonna play. Okay. All right.
Hello.
Enough.
We're not playing Dungeons and
My name
Dragons
is
today, Tyler.
Markiplier.
No, we're not playing Dungeons and Dragons. We're playing.
But I have
wish
my
you were
dice
playing.
out.
You will need your
mean,
dice. Everyone
you'll
will
need your
a
dice.
D8.
Oh, we will need dice? Oh my
Oh, do we need a
Just your
D20?
D8. Just your
We
D8.
need a D8. That's it. Just
Oh,
a
okay.
big old D8.
I'm gonna pump out my Daria D8.
Look at I'm gonna
Unsheath
grab
it.
my custom made Kyvier dice ordered by
Oh
my
yeah,
good friend
actually,
Tyler.
everyone should use their dice. Yeah.
I'm
I
gonna
don't
I'm gonna
have that.
unsheath my Daria dice, the blessed / cursed dice that will
I
crit.
don't
every-
like
The dice that are
idea
so
of
fucking
you
loud they make the
unsheathing
entire
your
table fall
dice.
down.
You don't
Oh,
like
there
me
it is,
unsheathing
Let's
my
go.
Yeah,
dice?
I don't really want you to unsheath your dice.
Well, it's too
I
bad.
don't
they've
like
been,
that.
they've been
So-
unsheathed.
So
I don't like
weird.
that wording.
It's
They've
just
been
weird.
unsheathed. So
You keep saying
But
it.
you shoot
you
it
just
again.
You
gotta
should
deal with it now.
you should resheath. I agree with Club. You should resheath.
I'm gonna resheath my dice and then
Just
unsheath
make like a
them
swing noise.
over and over again.
Yeah, it that you know what that actually made it 10 times worse. That your dice makes a swing noise.
Swing.
Swing.
God.
And got my
I
beautiful
am the
D8.
storm
Hello, everybody.
that is around. Hello.
How's everybody doing?
I'm
Great.
doing great.
Does everyone
me.
missed-
remember what happened last session? We should just do
I
a
will never
Yeah, let's do a
forget.
session recap.
Are we
Mini-tiers.
starting over? Are we
Yeah,
playing
this is
episode-
session
session
80.
Yeah,
Um,
let's go. The aftermath.
It's
true.
basically all of you dead sitting around the
Mm.
conference table
Yeah.
asking the one true God, Kaela, well, what about this, Mom? What about this?
What about this one?
And
Why,
she's
why,
gonna
did, why did you
answer.
why did you fuck this up so badly, Mom?
Yeah, she did.
What the
I
fuck?
mean, listen.
had her
So the way this is gonna work is I'm gonna throw it around to different people. You're gonna roll a d8, and Bubbly will, thankfully, my lovely co-host,
Mm.
will. Oh my god, that was truly
You just-
off-putting.
You roll the dice and I tell you the question.
Jesus
and
Christ.
we will go from there.
He may kick me off this call. I apologize.
Are we gonna have audience questions?
If any come up, you guys are welcome to put something in Twitch chat.
Yeah, let's
I think
go.
most of your questions will be answered as we go through it. So
Let's fucking go.
give me 1 second here.
You all start in a tap now.
You're all in a tavern.
You all start in a tavern. The tavern
No,
is
that's
on
not
fire.
How Patria 2 is going to start. Although there will be.
Is Logus gonna make a reappearance?
Lucas!
Did anyone ask what happened to Logus? Fuck!
No one did.
No one did.
Damn it!
There is no Logus questions.
Fuck!
Can I
After
change
went
one of my
back
questions?
multiple times saying, "Hey, is there anything else?"
Can
Can I change one of my questions?
Can I replace all of my questions with Logus questions? I don't need to learn about Daria's parents.
I
only
thought
need to
someone
know
else
about
would have asked about Logan's.
You can ask.
I'm sure if we have time.
Okay. Sorry, I'm just getting some audio figured out. Thank you, Ben, for helping me with a little bit of audio nonsense.
You're welcome.
Oh. Your name's Ben?
No, my name is not Ben. Close enough. All right. I feel like how should we determine who goes first?
We should
Rock, paper,
roll.
scissors.
We should roll a d20.
You want to
We
roll
should
a
roll
D20?
initiative.
Let's roll
let's
for
roll
You want to
initiative.
roll initiative?
Let's roll
Roll
initiative.
for initiative.
All right. Well, Mackenzie crit fails.
Mackenzie crit fails.
But yeah, the rest of you can roll initiative.
Loser. Are you ready for the
That's
loudest hell
cocked.
dice?
I am so
Yeah.
ready for that.
Yes,
Bring on the
one
hell dice.
final
All right,
time.
here we go.
Wait, here we go.
I'm dead middle. Not really, but
I'm also dead middle.
I'm 12.
I didn't
am
hear the crit
10.
dice.
I didn't hear any clunking.
Did
Yeah.
I roll? I'll
No!
keep the number, but I'll roll it again. Hold on.
There it is.
There it is.
There it is.
That was even lower that time.
Oh god, that was funny. Okay, perfect. Who rolled the highest? Anyone roll above a 20?
I don't
I
think we
think
Wait,
you
so
only
what
get
was
a
it?
20.
Sorry, I missed it. Were we adding? Or,
I mean, you're welcome to roll your initiative. I don't know if any of you still have your character sheets ready to pull
I
up.
I mean,
mine.
I do. If
okay, I rolled a
so,
2,
mine's-
so never mind.
mine's mine's
I'm on
Put your,
par,
put
I'm
your
on par.
initiative. Put your initiative in chat, and we'll go from there. I like that idea, actually. The final
the
final
stat.
initiative is
Figuring out who goes first for
What I have my
rolling.
Patria 2 character sheet open. I wonder what that's for.
hey yo.
No.
I mean, I can
oh.
pull out
Yo.
Niles if you want.
Oh shit!
Adam
wait,
underscore
is-
Atrianox character.
is this
I'm
with
so
Nerith's?
excited for
Is this
us
with
to
Nerith's still 30 intelligence? Because
What
I have
is-
a plus.
What is happening? What
Because
is-
I have a plus 11 initiative. If that is the case.
No. Base,
You guys
base
rolled
I'm not
like
giving
shit.
myself an
Base
addition, but I'm not doing dex bonus at all. I didn't add any.
Okay. Well, I rolled. No, I'll just keep my
How-
2.
Character's dead.
How
Just
am I?
truly-
How am
I don't have
I?
an
How am I?
initiative.
How am I the highest?
You
What?
rolled well.
I
Bear
rolled
net
a
one,
12
that's
plus
correct.
2.
All right.
You don't get that +2, Colby.
Well, then it was a 12. Which means I roll off with Kai.
I'm just gonna give it to you because it actually works out perfectly in order of how you guys typed it in chat.
Hey, let's go. They're rolling that
Colby,
sweet, sweet
roll a
D8.
D8. Let's start it.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
Well,
That is a 6. Starting off strong.
A CX. Wait, I have too many tabs open.
Oh
Give me a
wow,
sec.
this
Oh,
is a
no.
great
Okay.
first question.
Okay. Oh fuck yeah. All right.
Alright.
Question number 6.
I
What was the weapon being got?
Sorry. I will ask.
That voice. I can't. I'm not paying attention to lore because of that voice.
No, I was okay because like I was
just like
picturing
Kayala's
being
like
like.
little goblin patron.
Yeah.
That's what I was aiming for. I was
I
aiming for
love
like
goblin
the goblin
stenographer.
in charge of like the history book.
I thought you were doing like the crypt keeper from like Are You Afraid of the Dark?
all right. Let's
right.
hear the question. I love it.
So wait, now the real question: do I stick with the voice or do I? Just...
Please.
No,
Stick with the voice?
you already
Okay.
gave up.
You already
gave up.
stuck with it. Let's go.
gather around, children. The first question is, what was the weapon being guarded at the Flintgate garrison?
It's a great question to start it off
Yeah.
because I'm not gonna tell you.
What?
Long story
Boo.
short, I do have some information for you, but this is going to be something prevalent in Patria 2 and beyond.
God.
Being vague because this weapon will become prevalent, the Flintgate garrison was built on a fault line that once separated the Ekram Empire and the Tobig Republic. Under that fault line where this mountain range formed and where the garrison was held, there was a powerful device crafted by something older than the gods and the primordials. Discovered shortly after the Age of Dissension, so 1,000 years ago, now 1,200 years ago, if we're talking about Patria 2. Flintgate has protected it for near millennia until the Age of Heroes, where it was lost during the Heroes' War. So it is a pre-Kaela artifact that is lost during the Heroes' War, which is good because if it was used, it would have been real bad.
Can I give a speculation what I think it is?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I mean, if it's relevant in P2, it's the first gun.
Oh,
yeah, it's
So
just
it's my gun.
It's just an assault rifle.
It's Club's new gun.
It's an AR-15.
It's the AR-15
at the bottom of the abyss on below Flintgate Garrison.
Because below the abyss is actually Texas. It's
Would
crazy.
we have figured out what
No, the
weapon is
Feywild
if we
is
would have
in the
played
state.
through that mission, or would it still
if you have played through
it?
it, you would have collected it. I don't think there was any possibility of you guys discovering what it actually was or what it was for. You just knew that it was something. The intel that you guys got from those little one-shots was that the bad guys wanted it real bad, so you guys
Also
needed to
wanted
protect it. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was basically it.
Interesting.
Great first question. Starting off with, I'm not telling you. I love it.
It's an actual modern day nuclear bomb.
Yeah,
100%.
it's just the shelter that's below the White House. It's just that with all the nuclear launch codes.
Literally.
Tyler, that was the equivalent of going, don't worry, I won't be mad at you if you tell me. It's okay, just tell me. I won't be mad at you. And then we tell you, and like, ah, psych!
Got
Gotcha.
him.
I won't be mad.
I won't be mad.
All right.
And we're all furious.
With that, we'll go on to Kyvier. Give me a D8.
Oh boy.
We're just gonna,
Loud
we're
ass
just,
dice. Here we
we're just gonna lightning round all of Bear's questions.
And I want to make an edit now of like all of the recordings. Where it's just
Please
that
do.
guy's thud.
Please do.
Don't worry, I'll
Match
use
it
them
to
for
the hard
P2.
knock life.
I
Dun,
love
dun,
them.
dun,
Hard
It's
knock.
a hard
Another
knock life. Oh, number.
Another six. I see how it is.
Oh my god.
Yes.
Please.
Oh hell
with
yeah!
respect, don't
Another
also
great
roll with
question.
six.
Are you not gonna answer
Can
this
Bubbly
one?
read it out?
Yes,
Go ahead,
Bubbly.
Bubbly.
Okay. The question is, what? You guys giggle.
I can't not giggle. It's so
Oh,
good.
what do you expect us
Listen,
to
I can only hold this voice for so long.
Your vocal
barrel
cords are
through.
gonna be shredded.
Help
They're
me.
gonna sound like a 50-year-old smoker.
Literally.
Listen, Barbara, you can't do that. Okay.
when they invented chocolate.
I always hated it. Chocolate.
all right, Bubbly, go ahead.
What deal did Celeste? I don't fucking know.
Silence.
Silence.
Salad.
Fruit
Sorry.
salad.
I'm dying.
Yummy,
I'm
yummy.
actually dying.
Make with.
Yeah, say
You know,
that
I'm gonna
name.
pop.
Say
I'm
that
gonna-
name in a goblin voice.
I will.
Jan.
Just give me a second. I'm starting off right away.
Just say Dijon.
Yeah,
All
Dijon.
these names that I see, I am apologizing now. I am going to butcher them. So
Yeah.
That's
so
goblin. I'm even hunching over to say my
I
Oh
can literally
Okay.
picture it in my
God.
mind.
make with
Dernax to allow them to leave. Dernax.
Durjan.
Fuck you!
Damn.
That's not how you spell that.
Yes,
What
it is.
What is he, a cleaning product?
He is a cleaning product. What
It's to
deal
clean
did
out.
Silas make with Durjan to allow the knights to leave without being slaughtered, basically? This one was definitely a Hail Mary. I think I kind of alluded to this after, and I think at one point Nerith, you tried to press Silas for answers, and he was just like, don't worry about it. It's going to be fine. Silas straight up agreed to let Durjan have his spellbook after Silas died.
Oh.
In order to take control of Dragonmore. He was basically like, alright, these people are going to save the world, so I guess sacrificing a city is, in the long run, probably going to be okay. But he was also fully aware that his death would coincide with the success or failure of the Knights, so he was kind of hedging his bets that it wouldn't matter. He didn't know what was going to happen, but either the Knights succeeded and now they were powerful, godlike heroes and could probably kick Durjan's ass even with his spellbook, or the Knights lost and the world was turned to a hellscape anyways, so it didn't matter.
Did Silas
Too-
write his spellbook
too
in
bad.
invisible ink so Durjan can't read it?
Yeah,
Too
and
bad for
Durjan
him.
is deathly allergic to lemon juice, so he never would have been able to get to it.
Too bad the world fucking still ended and
Yeah,
all
too bad
portals
his
were
spellbook
closed
doesn't
and
work
Dragonmore
anyway.
was lost. Like,
Yeah, the great thing about that, though, is that Dragonmore was lost, but it was lost via flooding, which
That's
means that
true.
it flooded all of the Underdark as well, so who knows what
Yeah,
happened with Durjan.
yeah.
Oh,
There
God.
was-
I have
yeah.
wondered
Get-
the
Someone
get-
gotta fix
Get
the Titans.
shit on. Get shit on Durjan.
Someone gotta
Eat
fix
shit.
the
I
Titans.
love it.
All our homies hate Durjan.
Great question.
Oh,
Great
our
question.
homie. Yeah, that was
That was the only time Daria died in the entire campaign. Was that motherfucker?
was Durjan, and the
The
desire to
50
counter spell your revivify was so
Oh
strong.
my God.
It was
The-
so strong. I think I did actually. I think it failed.
Maybe.
I'm
I don't
pretty
know
sure I
if-
tried.
I don't know how
he's-
it would have failed.
Because level 3.
Well,
Like, you
maybe I
can't
was
up.
being
You
nice.
can't. I think you did. I don't think you did.
I really wanted to. I should have. That would have been good. Time.
P2. There you go.
P2, yeah. All right,
I mean,
Wilkes.
I would have had a completely
Can I
different character
get-
for that game.
Yeah, it'd have been great.
Don't roll a 6 or we're all doomed.
Yes.
We keep
Please.
rolling these things.
It's a
Don't
great
also-
question if you do, though.
Oh, I'm rolling a 6. Alright, let's go. I rolled a 1.
You rolled a 1. Okay. Okay.
This is Wilkes.
You gotta
Yes.
read it how you think I would, because most of my questions
Yeah, can
are
you
like,
do your best Wilkes impersonation?
Can't remember
Hey.
Wilkes' impersonation,
He's
except for just
he's
how he's
a-
talking
he's
now.
just a
guys.
small boy. He's just a small
I'm
boy.
a small lad.
Oh, hi there.
Oh,
Yeah, there
no.
you go. There you
no,
go.
he's just an asshole.
Oh, gee, mister.
Oh,
Such a lovely day to meet you here. Well, question number 1 is, are we, Nerith and Wilkes, the keepers?
Hey,
Um,
yo.
I like that idea that the enemy was the knights themselves from
Yeah.
the future / past or whatever. But no, you guys are not joining the keepers, nor are you already the keepers in some weird sort of backwards world. But at the end of the campaign, you do now reside in their domain. So past the point of death, you are now residing in their domain, which you do not know the names of. The rest of it is spoilers, as the Keepers is something that is going to be consistently teased and grown through Patria 2 and even beyond.
Until we kick their ass in Patria 30.
Well, so it's
When we're all dead.
yeah, it's kind of like
Our sons will.
yeah, it's weird. So the keepers came about after the campaign started, when I realized that I wanted the framework of the pantheon to be bigger than just the children. So the keepers were a way of me debasing Kaella's power by putting a group of deities above her influence, whether she knew about them or not. So the keepers are kind of omnipresent beings that are much, much more powerful than even Kaella, and we'll see what happens in Patria 2 and beyond with them. But they are definitely going to be a theme throughout the Chronicles of Patria for sure.
I see.
All right.
Can't wait to punch one in the face.
Can't wait to punch one of them in the face.
If I ever see that cheeky motherfucker.
That's your voice in Patria too.
Yeah, no, that's my voice in Patria 3.
Oh god.
Cheeky motherfucker.
That
He's right
cheeky
here.
motherfucker.
Yeah,
You said
Patria 3s were all
Alright.
British.
Let's be honest. You would be
I'm
able to hold on to that accent for about 15 minutes.
I'm about to give him a one.
Oh yeah. Let's.
Already losing
Oi,
it.
bro.
Literally already losing it.
Yeah, get it, boys.
I love it.
About to
Yeah, no,
give
the
you-
keep
You ever watch?
Keep it going. We gotta keep going.
Oh, sorry.
elusive part of what's to come with the campaign. They're going to be a consistent theme, and you met one of their influences with Inera, with the whole dreaming thing. That's to do with one of the keepers,
And Kybella.
and Kybella through a different keeper. So you've been linked to two different keepers without really knowing it, especially in character. And we'll see where it goes from there. All right, Nerith, you're up.
roll a 1, please. I know it'll be a nice
5.
thing. Yeah, 5. 6615.
Right, Nerith?
Which is
Oh,
good.
this
Plus
game,
5
but
is
this
6.
is it's the same question, just worded differently.
Oh, damn. Roll again.
No. This will just be a quick one.
Do I get 2 then?
No, because we have to stretch it out for Mackenzie to get back.
Wait,
Oh,
do I read this then? Oh, okay, I will read it.
Oh no, I dropped my dice across the planet. Guess we need to take a break.
Oh,
Holy
no.
Get Kai's dice bored through the earth.
They were so heavy they broke through my house.
You know, like how like when Chernobyl, like the core melted and like the elephant's foot melted through
Alright.
like 30 layers of concrete to get
Holy
to where it is now.
Kai, I just caught your dice.
Whoa, I guess I gotta go all the way over there to get it.
You guys are
Yeah.
in the same state. How did that work?
Geographically, if the Earth is flat, this is impossible.
Yeah. All right, Bubbly, read off that question. We'll do it as a
Okay,
quick one.
didn't know where that was going. Where did
fucking
Nerith
boy.
and Mac end up?
The plane the keepers call home. Spoilers. That's
Oh,
it.
shit.
That's it. It's
What
literally the
Casinco?
same question. I didn't catch that when I was doing editing. It's kind of funny.
Did I write
Nerith, you
Nerith
can
and
roll
Mac?
again if you want. If you just want to open it up, maybe if you have a question that you didn't think of, or I guess I could ask you a question just off the dome.
Mhm.
And this is open. We can talk about this kind of as we come to the end of the first round of initiative. Because we leave Bear from when he has returned. What was everyone's favorite? You can't say Logus. What was your favorite NPC and why?
Kyla.
Man,
Kyla? Yeah, why Kyla?
Oh,
what was your
man.
connection to Kyla like at the end of the campaign?
No,
I
okay.
think I had more interactions with Kyla by the end
Okay,
of the campaign.
I
than you
think.
had.
I think you're right.
I'm trying to think of my favorite NPC. I
I
really
think
like.
I think I know mine.
Yeah, wait, Colby, you go because I'm gonna think about it. I think I know what you're gonna say.
I don't know if you do. But I think my favorite NPC, just because of how fun it was to interact with them, was Dagda. Because
I thought Dagda. Yeah.
the Dragon of Strength. Because even though it was only a brief amount of time that we interacted, it felt like Daria made Dagda this echelon ladder, and was like, I gotta be as strong or stronger than this guy, and so was always trying to prove themselves but not butt heads with this ancient dragon deity to be like, yeah, I'm pretty fucking strong too, you know,
That's fair.
I got mine. I got mine. And
Go ahead,
maybe it's biased. Maybe it's a little biased, but Mine.
Ooh.
Yeah, he's
I-
pretty dope.
I did really. I loved we didn't have a ton of RP time with the Gisera.
Yeah.
Just because because we were running low on time.
You were running out of time.
But it was or just even Aerith seeing them in the dream. I really liked the way they just kind of I don't know. I thought they were cool.
Yeah.
The dream was super interesting. That whole dream episode where I think especially with the Gisra, I think Nick, you've said even after you were just like, yeah, that kind of shows that like that was Nerith learning, even though it was a dream, it didn't actually happen, but that these creatures were gonna become independent. They weren't gonna need you. Which was scary, but also super exciting that you accomplished a new person, a new people.
Too bad they all died.
Too bad they all died.
Yeah. Anyone else have any favorite NPCs? Because I have a question that that kind of goes with
I
this
do.
as well.
Go ahead, Kai.
I don't know if I remembered his name right because I'm terrible at remembering names, but the little boy that we found in the
Maris.
Oh, I
Maris.
love Maris.
Because he's
Daria
a little
named her-
boy and he also at the same time is like looking at us like, what the hell is wrong with you?
Like you.
Daria named her child after him.
Yeah.
He had such a lasting
was
impact.
awesome.
Oh,
I love Maris.
I just realized Anne was an NPC until Bubbly joined. I did not make. I was like, oh yeah, who else was like a child that we hung out with that was super sarcastic? I was like, oh, Anne. Bubbly only
Anne.
joined like last month.
Yeah.
Anne
Anne was
Garrett's
great that I
interactions
had to give Anne away. It,
Look,
it
here.
was too good to just keep as an NPC.
Okay, actually, I have a question. Because this will be my question to fill in for the one that was like whack.
Sure.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but what was the meaning behind Anne's art across the house? I remember it changing or
Ooh.
losing color depending on her mood. Was it an illusion the entire time, or was she
No.
actually?
So, the Anne that you originally met, being a vessel on this planet for almost 1,000 years, there were times where just in order to pass time along faster, the vessel would kind of autopilot. So the Anne that you met before you guys went to Dragonmoor, the first time meeting in Morankati, was not the same Anne that you had on the ship where she caught you and protected you. That moment is what brought the Anne that carried the rest of the party. And so unintentionally, she was drawing the future. And if you remember the descriptions that I gave, a lot of it was your family. But that's actually a great question. I have it in my notes that one of the scenes was something crashing from the airship, and that was actually the airship crashing in the final fight. And there was a scene of a lady laying on a stone bench of some sort, and that was Ainera. So she was unintentionally and unaware, it was like a subconscious thing, drawing and painting the future.
Damn.
That's just pretty cool.
Yeah,
Interesting.
it was pretty dope, and it felt like it was changing all the time because she didn't need to sleep. She was painting 24/7 when she wanted to. Like, it just didn't matter. So she was able to update and go over previous drawings pretty quickly.
Our little Bob Ross.
A little Bob Ross.
Hey man, can we just talk about how like Isabel spent so long with Anne and never knew that it was Rachel?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even know if
Yeah,
Isaac
Rachel.
knows fully yet, because I know someone spoiled it, but I don't think Isaac has finished the episode and seen what
yeah.
happens after, or even the dream one. That was pretty good.
Yeah.
Mac, did you have a favorite NPC?
Maybe Silas or Sorsha.
Sorsha was
I
pretty
like
good.
how cranky Silas was.
Yeah, Silas is really great.
Silas is
Yeah.
good. I love it.
Yeah.
Both great. Both very old and both very good.
Kind of building off that favorite NPC question. Does anyone have a favorite villain throughout the story? Like a favorite like
Or a
BBG?
favorite encounter.
Yeah, or a favorite encounter.
I don't know
I-
if it's. Someone go first.
I like the Kraken fight.
Kraken fight was
Second
good.
was fun.
I hated
I
that
was-
fight so
I was
much.
not there for the.
I screwed up so many mechanics. You guys should have died.
Probably, yeah.
It's
Yeah.
a CR23 Kraken in its lair and also twisted by influences from the abyss, and you guys kicked its ass.
Oh yeah, I still died
man.
at the end.
I mean,
For
isn't
sure.
that
Even level
Isn't that-
20s should have a difficult enough time in its lair.
Isn't that the way the knights fucking rocked it though? Like
Yeah.
we only
Yeah, why do you
rock, like,
think why do
one
you
or
think
two
I
times.
drained the entire world of Magic for Patria 2, you
Yeah.
bastards? I need to nerf the players, not the characters.
I think definitely I think my favorite villain was definitely Hadriel. Even though I wasn't
yeah.
there when Hadriel was
Such a
introduced.
slow burn with
Yeah.
Hadriel.
Even though I
it.
wasn't there when she was introduced, it felt like just so connected with the party that
Dude, the scene
Daria
where
had-
Hadriel convinced Nerith to jump out of the airship was
Uh-huh.
probably my favorite scene of all time.
That the interactions we did with Nerith and Hadriel, just like I think my favorite NPC interaction was Nerith getting Hadriel to play child games with him to convince her to give what was it when Nerith was lost in the dark with Hadriel, he asked her to play I Spy with him. And then she began describing their surroundings because like she never was willing to help him actually, so Nerith used
Like the speech of Nerith, or the narration of that is too big for Discord, but I'll upload it.
that was also like I knew, I forget, did I know that was coming?
No. I told you told me you wanted to change your subclass.
Yeah, I said I think it would be
And
cool
I
if I could
said
change
and
my
I
armor.
said hold my beer.
Yeah.
And then that's what happened.
I think the subclass changes in the game having a lot of weight to them was also really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, like when I
Like-
nuked Wilkes
Yeah, when
off
you
of
knew
a
Wil-
bridge.
you
I
made
don't think I want to be wild magic already. All right, bet.
and then you
Slingshot
slit Daria's throat. Like
Yeah, that'll happen, man.
just-
All right,
man.
yeah, let's take it from the top. Daria, if you want to roll another D8.
Oh
Yeah,
fuck!
I
We're
don't
top of the
think
round
I'm gonna
again.
switch classes now,
Top of the
subclasses. A2.
Yeah, I don't
It's
think
very,
they'll be
it's
able
very
to the
unlikely
same way.
though.
Like especially Mac and Nick's characters, like that's kind of your whole identity. It's not just the song.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
another 6.
And we'll roll again. Then,
What's
nerd.
these sixes?
All
Oh my
of your dice
god,
are
that's a
fucked.
5.
All right,
Jesus.
5 from Daria, Bubbly. Oh, great
Yes,
question.
yeah.
Great question.
What happened to the people affected by the Pale Heart after its destruction?
That voice is gonna kill me. It's so good.
Why, thank you, DM.
Great question. So a couple things happened. And this fun fact, this is fresh lore from the lore builders and myself, literally today. We've decided
fresh off the
what
press.
happened. Get
your lore, get your hot lore.
some of the souls that were trapped were siphoned off and used for experiments. You guys found evidence of that in the Undead Hags lair in session 4, as well as some of the dead bodies you found in that tiny tunnel where you guys found the Sapphire Goliath that still had the sapphire in its head. Signs of experimentation, not just torture, but actual like scientific implements to determine what the hell was going on with these undead bodies that didn't have their souls, but et cetera, et cetera. So there was a lot of experimentation there. So those souls were thankfully pulled out and allowed to die. So those people at least got peace. But besides those people, the souls of those people, when released, during that little side quest, they had to find their bodies in order to be awoken. Unfortunately, because of how soon after that mission the campaign ended and the Mother's Mercy took place, many of those souls never found their bodies before their bodies died, because the magic that was sustaining them left. Over a few decades, these souls that were now trapped on Patria became and kind of formed a force by following the currents, the natural air currents on the planet. They formed something called the Soul Winds. And the Soul Winds push across the Solana Desert which is south of Solana Asari, where the tree that is now fallen used to be a capital city of the former Vestarian Empire. So any sand elves who exist in P2, any creatures who are from the Solana Desert would have some understanding or superstition of the soul winds, which still exist in Patria 2.
I see.
Super sus, but also very cool.
It's not gonna be a problem later.
No,
I'm sure we're not going to be trekking across the desert.
dude, normal
across the
winds
wall of
sometimes
souls.
make like ooh sounds. Now imagine 100,000 voices
Just
hurricaning through the
like,
desert,
Oh,
just screeching and also like asking. Yeah, they're just gonna sound
For
like
ultimate
buzz
immersion,
bugs.
whenever we go there, we need to all go like ooh simultaneously at the same time.
No, we're just
I
going to
love
go.
it.
Oh.
Oh,
I hate that. All right, Kyver, you're up.
all right.
Good question.
Loud dice roll.
Let's go.
That's an 8.
That's an 8. Your bonus question.
Bonus question.
Wait, for Kai?
Ding ding ding
Yeah.
ding ding.
Yes. Okay.
Daily double.
Oh, a very sad bonus question. Oh
Oh,
no.
no.
F.
Lucky you, Kai. You got the bonus question.
Oh God.
I really hate this.
What questions do I even ask?
I'm glad you asked. Well,
That's
the
one of them.
question is, after the events of Mother Mercy, what happened to Frayne and the Circle?
Nope. Farron.
Well-
So close.
fair.
I don't fucking care.
The R and the A are the other way around, but I like Frayne. I'm gonna go with
Frayne's good.
I'm gonna go with Dufresne from now on.
Frayne.
Andy Dufresne. So I'm happy to say that Farron did survive the events of the end of the campaign.
Hey.
He was fighting alongside the Arboreal army in the valley below, but
Let's go.
was able to survive. You know, she's a very capable woman, and was actually watching the scene at the end of the campaign from that 100-foot tall redwood that was described during that final fight.
Oh, interesting.
After the Mercy, and with the what do I call it? After the fracturing of Kai, he was no longer the same man. Farron let him go. She didn't put up a fight. She didn't beg. She understood that there was almost nothing to be done in order to bring Kai back down to Earth. So she turned her duties back to the Circle. Unfortunately, affected by the life drain that all these races of long-living creatures suffered from, she would pass away no less than 5 years later. But in that time, she helped thousands of refugees and elves relocate through the forests and to villages that were offering sanctuary, and up until her last day was shepherding people to further inland away from the scarred lands where the Archelicus's army once sat. So she kept on doing what she was born to do, which was helping people up until the last moment.
Oh, I'm proud of you, Mom.
You did so good. You did so much
So
better
good.
than I did.
I'm sorry, I kind of went off the deep end, Mom.
Jesus.
Jesus is my friend.
It's very sad. Very good. All right, Wilkes,
Not
you're up.
I got an 8.
Oh, another bonus
Another
question. Let's
bonus
go.
question.
Another bonus.
Oh, this one's gonna make you all pissed. Damn it.
Oh.
Oh
Wait,
God.
We're gonna riot.
If
gonna
I
riot.
ever see that cheeky motherfucker.
okay. Wilkes, you said. Bonus question for you.
Jesus.
Kyle's
How?
servants are wild.
How could Wilkes have survived the Wait, what?
Culmination.
Sorry, culmination. I knew that. I knew
There
that.
you go.
Culmination of events at the end of the campaign. Oh God, my job is getting.
How could
stressful.
Wilkes have survived? Was
I think
there
I
a way?
asked this. I think I asked this before.
There was a way. There was a way out for Wilkes, and I purposely left the door open. But I also knew from talking with Mac and how many times Wilkes had been brought back, and the circumstances that led to the final fight, that it was unlikely. And so I left the door open, but I didn't give you a path to connect the dots. If you guys came to it as players in your guys' conversations leading up to the final sessions, then it would have been super awesome and cinematic and totally fucked up my plans. But it was left as a possibility, but it wasn't meant to happen. I think we can all agree that Wilkes came back from the dead twice to finish the job, and finish the job he did. However, he could have survived. What would have happened is Daria could have taken Wilkes's soul into soul rent by killing him.
Oh.
And then
my
put
God.
it in another body later. But you would have had to do that prior to
Oh man.
Mother's
Mother's
Mercy,
Mercy.
which happened
Which is really
immediately after the fight.
Wait,
so
So it would have been very difficult. And you could have done it beforehand. You could have gone into the fight. You could have killed Darrington, and that was kind of who I thought you would have, and
Jesus.
put Wilkes's soul in Darrington's body, and then just be down in the final
I
fight. And
I couldn't
Wilkes
do that
would
to my
have.
boy Darrington though.
But so that was really the only way.
Even though you
But
probably
Soul
Wil-
Rend could have done that.
Wilkes was so instrumental in the final
Exactly.
fight, though. So like it literally,
Exactly.
if we would have been down Wilkes, we might.
And
have
that's why I
died.
left the door open, but I didn't lead you guys there because I didn't think it made sense. But if you guys in that war council were just like, "Hey, what if I kill you, Wilkes?" I would have been like, "Okay, we're doing this."
I would have never
It would
thought
have worked though,
in
for
100
Yeah.
million years. I would have never thought, yeah, I'm gonna kill my best friend Wilkes. Like,
Yeah.
to suck
This
his
is gonna
soul
sound
into
crazy,
my
but in order to
sword.
keep you alive, I'm gonna stab you in the neck.
I'm gonna need you to swan dive off of your balcony onto my sword, which is planted
Yeah.
in the ground.
You have to get it just right.
Yeah,
so
no, that's
it
really
is-
that's really the only way.
Damn.
Because
I don't think any of us would have thought of that.
the other part of it too was like the reason why Wilkes didn't have a moment of conversation when Anne took Meister's spark was due to the nature of what the spark was doing for Wilkes. Wilkes was dead.
Mm.
When Wilkes was a slave on the Titan with Artelicus, that was a dead Wilkes. The body was gone.
Jesus.
Putting the spark of Maestra in him is what brought him back, and it was like a web of energy, pumping his heart and keeping his muscles tight so that he could flex them, and that was it. You were being Jaegered by Maestra basically in that final fight, which is why I pushed you to do crazy shit with magic, because it wasn't just you.
Yeah.
Awesome, love it. All right, Nerith, you're up.
I get to throw the clanky
I
dice.
thought that was Bubbly's voice.
It was not my voice.
That's actually
gonna do
yeah,
Captain
you do
voices.
Is that your
I-
character's
I
voice?
rolled a 5 again.
Roll again.
Roll
Nerd.
again, bitch.
I rolled a third
Oh.
5. Let me try this
Jeez,
again.
feisty over
2.
there.
2.
Hey, finally.
Oh,
Fancy
here we
roll,
go.
Dose.
Dose.
I don't like one of these names already. Okay.
Oh no.
It's okay.
Says
I also
Nick.
can't
Mark.
read.
His name's Mark.
I'll give you a
It
hint.
says
The
Nick, your
second
friendly
C
DM.
is an S.
Fuck you.
What?
It's Elvin. I'm sorry.
All right.
It's sort
Yeah. There is a question.
Your second question. What happened to John Doe? Which, by the way, lovely name because I can fucking say it.
Oh,
not
no.
a lovely
And
Worst
person.
name.
Cars.
Worst
Oh,
name.
Carceran,
Carceran,
All my
etc.
There you go,
Say John
Carceran.
Doe.
There you go, Carceran. So what happened to the 3 former players that weren't immediately murked on camera like Isabel was? John Doe escaping Valaena on a boat, disguised as not a brick, but as idiotically the captain's right-hand man, with no prior ship experience,
Jesus.
was quickly found out, and his throat was slit in his sleep while traveling back to Bafrena,
Let's go.
and the kiss of the mistress was kept by the captain.
Oh,
So it's out there
interesting.
somewhere.
Boom.
Carceron, unfortunately, I actually rolled some dice for this because Carceron, before I kicked him out of the campaign, had some pretty cool ideas on what he wanted to do to get his son back. He found his son, which is great, alive,
Hey!
Good. That's good.
and then was immediately captured by the sect. And
man.
tortured for information on the Valaenian Knights, and that's actually they used some of the information he had to better prepare Dauron. But his son was never found, so his son is either missing or dead.
Yeah, good thing Darwin didn't prepare.
I have
well,
I
I
have
think we never told Carceron anything.
I have a question about the vestiges real quick because
hold on.
Okay.
And then Oswald,
Our boy.
our dear barbarous rogue druid Oswald, was never seen again. He left
just-
Greenhaven heading north towards Thunderall and was never seen again.
Jesus.
Um,
Died somewhere in the woods.
Yeah, he died
Wait,
somewhere in the woods.
who was? Oh no,
He
we
probably
found it-
tried to join the circle and got murked. He probably tried to fight Farron and got put down.
Oh
I
my
guess
god.
Sorry, don't mess with Farron, okay?
I was gonna say who. I was gonna say, and I was like, I remember he was looking for a girl. What was her name? Loki or something?
Yeah, something like it was.
Oh yeah, and we
something-
found her in fucking.
We found her. We found her
You
body.
found her. You found her body. Yes.
in
Case
malware
closed.
vortex.
Case closed.
Case closed.
Thank you, Rorschach. Case closed.
Thank you, Rorschach.
Dario, what was your question about the
I
vestige?
looked down.
I was wondering because you said that the kiss of the mistress vestige was kept by the captain and is still out there. Does that mean that when Mother's Mercy happened, it was described that Solren lost its thrum and the God Killer armor was disenchanted? Did the vestiges regain their magics when the gods came back to Patria, or was
I
it
don't know.
like they
Guess
had
we'll
to
find out in P2,
re-enchant?
weirdo.
What'd you guys do-
There's
what'd
gonna be
you guys
some
do-
illusion
What-
mage
What'd
pirate
you guys
out there.
do with what'd you guys do with Wilkes's vestige?
Yeah, what'd you
Yeah,
do
with
with
him.
Wilkes's stuff?
I think maybe would have done a mock if it was just a coat, if we just
Oh,
thought it was
hell
a coat
yeah.
and just placed it on his
Just
crate on his
hang an
gravestone.
extremely powerful legendary artifact.
I mean,
Yeah, it wasn't like
on a
Mollymawk's
coat
cloak
rack
was
in
magical.
in the
And
outdoors.
just
Like,
super
well, it was
good.
it was
This
it
tank
was
tank.
it was because everyone
love
was
it.
buried within the Karamord Grove, so it was always watched over. But everyone thought it was disenchanted because Solrun was
I love it.
disenchanted. It had no magic, so we're just
It's
like, oh,
just-
it's
And,
just
Low
and
fucking
literally
weird.
no one knew that Wilkes had that anyway, so it's not like Wilkes was
exactly.
like, yeah, look at this late woven cloak I got. He just wore this cloak all the
So
time.
everyone just it was just like
We
it
just
was
thought you
like-
got a cool coat.
It's just
Yeah,
a
it was-
nice jacket.
It was just
Yeah,
kind of
Wilkes
like
nice dudes.
molded to your gravestone, so that it was like known that was your gravestone. And when Daria died, their Solren was buried with her, or like stabbed behind her gravestone. All
Oh,
of
yeah.
the vestiges were like put with the specific people.
They just put them all on
My head
display.
canon.
That'll be
Yeah,
totally
exactly.
fine in campaign 2, I'm sure.
The God Killer armor was given back to Thunderall. I will say that.
That makes sense.
Daria made the trip to Thunderall and gave the God Killer armor back. So
All right.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think if I have a group question for you guys. Oh, what's... How do I phrase this?
Careful.
What's one thing you wish there was more of in Patria 1?
Exploration, because we didn't really go anywhere.
I think
You guys spent a long time in Dragonmore, for sure.
Yeah, like we
Yeah.
went to a lot of places, but like I like spending a lot of time in places, but at the same time, it's like I also like seeing new places too.
I was
going,
gonna say
like,
yeah.
that is one thing I want for Patriot, like kind of hope we get to do a bit more in Patriot 2 is just wander.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, there'll
Just-
be lots of that.
Like
I-
we're just like just go through this entire desert to
Like-
get somewhere, and like, oh, there's a little shanty shack down here, and then we just like get,
Yeah. I think definitely traveling by airship, like hurt our exploration, because although it was the fastest way we could go, it also like hindered everything we could do.
You get to skip
Wow.
everything. Yeah,
Also,
You're
we
telling
never
me
got to
because
do
I
full
you're
frontal
telling me
naval
I ruined the
combat.
campaign because I wanted an airship carrier.
it's true.
never
Wilkins
got to
did
fight
ruin the
before.
campaign by allowing you guys to have fast travel.
Yeah, literally. I think definitely I would like to see more grounded moments. Because I although I wasn't here for the first half of the campaign, I know like the beginning within Haven was supposedly pretty normal, pretty typical D&D stuff.
That was fun.
But it felt like after I had joined, it was always about the end of the world, and so it never felt like I could like view the common folk in a way. I couldn't like help the king deal with a bandit problem.
Yeah,
you know?
the whole campaign was designed to be a heroic fantasy, and I think it lived up to that idea.
Oh yeah. For sure.
It was humbling learning a lot of the stuff as you go through. It was my first full campaign. But yes, that is something that I look forward to in Patria 2 as well, is the slower moments. And I was speaking with Bear about this, so I guess I'll tell you all since I already told Bear. One of the cool things we're going to be doing in Patria 2, I haven't decided what I'm going to call them yet, but as we go through the campaign and with the PDF document that I gave you guys to kind of center yourself on short-term, middle-term, and end-game goals, when we get to arcs of the story that focus around one or two players... Did I tell you guys this?
No,
Bear did.
Oh, Bear did. Yeah, that
I
doesn't
didn't
surprise me.
I hear nothing of this.
But we're gonna do little one-shots where we'll do like an hour or two flashback sessions, not on a Monday, that will release in time with the campaigns, that just give the audience, and you guys are welcome to watch them as well, but you don't have to, context into why one of you guys is feeling this way or why this is so important to you, which is going to be super cool. And there's going to be it's going to be more just the
Mac, I'm just thinking now, dude.
Oh man,
I've already got 3 of your guys written for what it's going to look like. So Kai, I'm sorry in advance.
Oh no.
Nick, I'm sorry in advance.
Oh boy.
No, it's good. It's good. So I think that'll be really interesting because it's disconnected from the story, but it's still contextual to what's happening, which is cool.
Since Nick and I's backstories are basically the same for the most part, quote unquote.
Yeah, quote unquote.
Would him being the younger, would I be in any of his one shots prior?
You, the character, might be, but you, the player, will not.
Oh,
it'll be fun because whichever one we do first, if it happens to be the same timeline, I will record your responses to his questions and use those as an NPC.
Oh my goodness.
Oh shit.
So you guys might be living through the same scene from two sides. But it might be different too, because things in your life might have been, your more important memory might be different than his, especially in relation to what you're chasing after. But yeah, no, I love that. I think it's going to be super cool. I have a lot of other cool narrative ideas with that. The goal is for you guys to drive the show. Like I'm here to provide narration and context, and you guys are just going to be talking to each other for 4 hours a night. It's going to be great.
Yeah.
It's going to be good.
I do.
Daria.
Hey.
Go ahead. No, go ahead, Marcus.
I was gonna say, I don't know. It just like I know it's supposed to be the hero fantasy, but I just hope P2 doesn't up as quickly. I liked feeling small in Greenhaven.
Yeah.
I'm definitely looking forward to the slow burn.
Yeah,
for sure.
I like dating the secretary at the police academy.
And then ghosting her for 18 months.
Immediately ghosting her for
after she basically died. Yeah, Kyla's dead. She's 100% dead.
Wait, did she die after? No. So wait, that. Oh dang it! I didn't put this.
I saved her.
That's one of the questions is which NPCs survive. So we'll see which one that one comes up on there.
Oh wait.
I have a thing.
Yeah, go ahead.
I don't know if this was a thing and I just wasn't here for it, or it was before I joined the campaign, but One thing I want to see more of, maybe, is if there are boss fights of like characters pertaining to our backstories.
I mean,
like
that
run-ins.
happened with-
Yeah, besides Daria, I
Yeah.
don't think there were that many for sure.
yeah, that was.
I mean, it doesn't have to be like every single one of us, but I just think it'd be interesting if we had enemies
especially
that.
with the theme
yeah.
of campaign 2, I think it'll be much more prevalent.
There definitely might be.
You're just gonna fight Nick and Mac's dad for sure.
Yeah, let's
Nice.
go.
I don't-
What a
I like
piece of shit
even
your
if he's a
dad.
good guy, like we haven't laid
No.
in stone if he's good or bad. Like you guys are gonna
Yeah.
kick his ass for sure.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Yay!
we're gonna upper deck him. We're gonna
Yeah.
upper
Okay, Daria, roll your D8.
okay.
I can shoot him in the
Tyson.
face.
You can shoot him in the face from 500 feet away.
Yeah, I can do that.
Without
that
disadvantage.
is a 2.
A 2.
Club, what are you
Two,
doing over
you
there?
say? Well,
I'm gonna shoot this guy.
Oh,
what did I do?
This is the quick one. This is good.
All right, you ready, goblins?
Shit. Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Question number 2. Is this... Wait, what? No. Is there going to be a new... What the fuck is a loss? Lols. Now that Arcadius has been defeated.
Is
Oh,
there
yeah.
going to be a new Lolth now that Artelicus has been
No,
defeated?
you gotta say it like she did.
I
Achilles.
can't. It's gonna make me. I can't.
What's the point of me reading the question if I'm not allowed to? read
Because
them?
it's really funny that you can't pronounce any of the names correctly. I take great joy in that.
Common is their second language. Goblin is their first language.
Common is their second language.
Listen, I'm
Um,
trying, man.
You're doing great. You're doing
It's
great.
fun. It's
I this is a really short answers. Spoilers, Winky Face.
Oh my god.
I got nothing for you.
You can't tell us the deities of the abyss.
No.
It's
I
Greg.
tell you.
It's
No.
Logus.
It's Logus's like cousin.
Greg.
Oh.
Marty.
Greg.
It's Marty. The new Queen of Spiders is
God.
Marty.
Please,
guys,
I have
my
an
name's
uncle named
Marty.
Marty.
Well,
It's the
howdy,
same
y'all.
guy. It's the same
Yeah,
guy.
that one's a big old spoilers. Wouldn't you like to know?
Well,
Yeah.
My uncle Marty is.
yeah.
In fact, you'll notice if I give you the sheet after, because you guys asked a lot more questions than what we narrowed it down to. There are some questions that I just downright deleted because it's just like, hey, can you give me like more prologue for Patria 2? It's just like, listen, P, I'm deleting this.
Oh, no.
All good natured, but
I
there were a lot of questions like, hey, can you tell me this thing that had nothing to do with my character or the story? I just
Can
really want to know.
Well, it was like Artelicus, and we're like, maybe we killed the Spider Queen and became the
Yeah.
Spider Queen. So
Yeah, you guys
can
should
I-
have escaped from Pandemonium into the abyss, gone
can
for a little
I?
stroll.
Yeah, exactly. Can I ask another question since that one was
Sure.
a very short answer? If nobody else asked this, where did Dagda go when he left the group?
That is on one of the questions.
Oh, okay. Never
We'll
mind.
get there. All right, Kai, you're up.
Oh boy. Loud AF dice.
Dice!
5.
Five.
Five it is.
Oh no.
Oh god.
Here we go again.
Listen, I can sound like a little boy
Kai
if you want
asked
me
so
to.
many sad questions.
I
Good.
like to be sad,
Good.
okay?
Am I still a goblin or a
Fuck
little
you.
boy?
You can be a
Be a
little
grown
goblin boy.
man.
Goblin boy.
I don't know how to do a little goblin boy. I just
So
I can't do both. I can only do one. No,
You could become Ublo. You could just become Ublo.
I don't know what that means, and neither does Bubbly.
Ublo is
Do-
a
do-
Janora character.
Do the voice. Do the voice.
I'm
Mac.
not doing
Do the
it.
roar.
All right, go ahead, Bubbly. Go ahead.
I'm-
Do the roar. Fuck.
Rar.
Rar. Question number 5. Were the knights reunited in death? Did the afterlife still even exist? Dun, dun, dun.
All right.
Is it
So, so here's
I
the
like
thing.
that question. It had no fucking names in it.
Here's the thing. Yes, but actually asterisk. You did. All of the knights did reunite in the afterlife,
All of the knights?
except for Wilkes and Aerith.
Oh, that
You
was
just
too
had to do
good.
that to Kai.
Kyella
Hey, we're
did
together,
not,
buddy. We're together, buddy.
Kyella did not bring back the children right away. And as such, when she left, she was still Kaela wherever she went. She didn't go there and then re-split herself into the gods. They stayed whole within Kaela for quite some time. Because of that,
like a Megazord.
their planes, their realms, their afterlives, that golden beach where Isabel and Daria talked before Daria came back to life, fell to ruins. There was no divinity holding them up anymore. And because of that, Kaela allowed her domain, her plane that she had created, in her like cosmic form when she, quote, died. And all the dead went there instead. So all of the knights who survived Mother's Mercy and all of their family, except for some that were caught in the Soul Winds, were reunited in the afterlife. Nerith
you
and
freaking
Wilkes.
Achilles us for you. How did you Achilles me more than you already Achilles me?
Nerith and Wilkes aren't dead.
Yeah, they're still
They're
forever.
with the Keepers.
They're writing that book. They're writing that.
They're
fucking
writing
book.
the
We're
book.
like-
We're writing
like-
our hot romance.
You're writing
Hey,
Tusk
yo.
Love.
we're writing song.
Oh my God!
We're writing
Distance,
song
you
about
should hear
your-
right.
We're
You're
doing
running
it
with
for
it.
George R. R. Martin.
You're trying to finish the Winds
Okay,
of Winter,
okay.
man. You're doing
So-
your best.
Yeah, George R. R.
So,
Martin's
with-
actually there with us. He's been here for a long time.
But
So
with
if you
that,
guys-
that
if you
does
guys were-
mean, like, for example, and I'm sad that he's not here, that does mean that Mackenzie and Garrett reunited. Mackenzie and Moose reunited.
Oh,
And
okay,
yeah.
so the brothers can reunite, and I can't reunite with my boyfriend.
Your boyfriend's not
Yeah.
dead. He ghosted you. I'm
I
sorry.
know he
God
ghosted
damn,
me, and that's
you
why I'm
ghosted
dead now
two
and lonely.
people, Gareth. How does it feel?
Damn.
Sorry.
Come around.
So
It's gonna be
non-serious-
so cool when you figure out what they're doing in Patria 2, I promise.
Kyla and
Non-
Kyla and Kai are just gonna meet up and
Excuse me?
realize they have really
God.
similar names.
Kai, Ella, yeah.
Kyle.
Non-serious question. This is a joke. When you guys are writing the book of the Hero of Age, the Age of Heroes, which one of you
Miss
wrote
Warren,
the romance stuff? Was it Nerith and he just made it
Was it
very
the robot
vague?
or
Was it vague or was it Wilkes and he just went full deep?
It was
Like-
Nerith writing it and Wilkes giving him like a side eye, like, really? You're gonna put all of that in?
He's putting in like the
Really?
intense details
Make
of
it
all the
sound
different
so
ways he like had
scientific.
romantic moments with Kai.
Nerith, how did you make love seem scientific?
How'd you make it sound like that?
yeah, there.
Why
they-
is there
they
an
actually-
equation here?
To
There
answer your
shouldn't be an
question, Kaya,
equation
they
for this.
actually split it 50-50, so it was fair. But you can definitely
Oh.
tell which romance sections are written by Nerith because he uses the word phallus a lot instead of
Oh
any
my
other term.
God.
And it's just awful. It's just the worst word
Yeah, but
there
Wilkes
is.
uses those like problematic like
Mm.
author ones,
The
Member.
strong ones.
the mound or
Your
like
clunge.
something stuff like that.
the meat tunnel.
Okay, we're gonna move on before I get TOS on Twitch with 5 viewers.
The grundle.
Oh god, Wilkes, go ahead and roll a d8. Please get us out of here.
Oh, that's romance, baby.
We're in the middle. You got
Yeah.
1, 8, and 5. I love it. Oh, this is an awful question. I hate you.
Oh
Wait,
no.
This is
Wilkes
the worst
5?
question. Wilkes 5 is terrible.
Thank God there's no name in it. Question
Yeah,
number
it's just
5.
English words.
I understand, Common. I could do this. Don't worry, GM. Question number 5. What are your biggest regrets from the campaign? What are things you wish could have happened? Etc. etc.
I remember
Okay.
writing that.
So there's a couple. I don't really have any regrets. I think I'm very happy with how the campaign ended, even though it was it was rough. I'm gonna lie, it was pretty rough.
Yeah.
I think the ending was difficult. I was very worried about fucking it up, and I still sometimes think I did, but I think it ended the level of bittersweetness that if it had been too much more severe, it wouldn't have been fun. If it was too much more silly or heroic, then Patria 2 would have had a completely different vibe. So I think, the hurt aside and the pain aside with what happened with your characters, I think it'll lead to a much more rich story in Patria 2 because of the world they left behind. I did, actually, this is funny that I bring this up because it's something we just talked about. I did wish we were able to explore more of the map and not have to rush in that final 20 sessions or so. But I think honestly part of that was I think everyone was just super excited to play a new character. The slow burn in Dragonmore I think dragged on a little bit too long. I think some people lost interest, including myself. It was just a lot going on. But like any campaign, as a campaign is reaching its close, the ending speeds up, right? You get less, quests receiving and more building up what you need in order to succeed in the final quest. I think it still felt right. One of my biggest things that I wish we could have done, and I wish we could have slowed it down, and maybe I'll even run a one shot just so we can explore it before it was destroyed, but was exploring the city of Thunderall. That city was extremely cool, and there was a lot going on in that city. And yeah, I think that was one. Greenhaven and Thunderall were the cities that I built up the most.
Yeah.
So it would have been nice to explore those,
Greenhaven
but I'm
was
sure we
awesome.
will. I mean, Thunderall still
Yeah.
exists in P2. It's just,
I'll just say,
its wings
Greenhaven.
collapsed.
The Greenhaven shenanigans were great. I wish the current party was there for the Greenhaven shenanigans.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Man,
Yeah.
why didn't I'm thinking back on Thunderall? Why didn't we shove the flaying potion down Autolycus' throat?
Can you imagine
Oh god.
this party doing the heist of the McAllister Mansion?
It would have been great.
Oh.
It would
have
been
actually
so
probably
good.
succeeded.
I would have punched a guard in the face to knock him out.
Speaking
I'm
of,
stealthing, right? I'm
McAllister
stealthing,
is
right?
alive. Just so everyone's pissed off. McAllister lives and actually
Goddamn.
joins the Flintgate commission when they form the new
Well, he's
empire.
obviously good now, right?
Yeah, he's a good lad.
But his lineage continues.
Yep, he survived. He
So
survived.
we're gonna rob his great grandson.
Actually, hey, that's another regret. That reminds me. I was a little salty, but it's whatever. It's your guys' story. That the Emperor, when you guys found out that he was alive, was just immediately murked. He had
Yeah.
so much information. That would have been so cool if we could have explored that. Like, again, at the end of the day, it wouldn't have changed anything, but that was like episode 4. You guys thought this motherfucker was dead, and he was just chilling.
Yeah,
He didn't want to be
Where did we
emperor
find him
anymore.
again? In
We
like
found him in the garden.
Wait, who killed him?
It was Bryn, but everyone was
We
fighting.
all
Like, it was
we all
it was
told
yeah,
him.
we
Oh,
all were just
okay.
like, we're gonna fucking
Oh, Bryn Instant killed the other guy.
the spy.
dad.
Yeah, Kai's
Kai.
dad.
His traitor dad.
My dad's dead.
Traitor fucking dad.
I lost 2 dads,
He
okay?
did lose 2 dads.
And
And 2 moms.
and 2 moms.
That's a
Man,
right. That's a
Okay,
straight
you
up-
were already
parents.
lost before you
And
lost.
your husband. Yeah.
Wow,
And my husband.
most
I
lost
can't take
ever
much
in a
more
D&D
this time.
campaign.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
You lost your party. You lost your.
Anyways,
husband. Yeah, it
Nerith,
was.
roll a d8.
Wow.
Wait, can I just like as I'm rolling, just like a question?
Yeah, absolutely.
Was the "Hey you up" text I got from Kyla actually Kyla?
No, it wasn't.
Oh, okay.
So you didn't ghost her. She ghosted you.
No, she was dead. She didn't ghost anyone. She got killed.
Yeah, she's a ghost. She goes.
In fact, because you met up with Kyla in that meeting.
Yeah,
and
because I saved Kyla.
you never asked why she was there. That was a changeling, my dude. That was not Kyla.
What?
At what meeting?
She was at the conference, the council.
What?
Yeah,
I don't remember.
I
What,
saved her.
She was
I
there
saved her.
with
They
Farron and
probably-
Jaren and Philip
why,
and
do I,
Jaren.
why do I not remember that?
So the
She
Kyla
wasn't
that
important.
Wilkes saved was.
Because you weren't at that
changed.
session. You weren't at the session where I saved Kyla, Jaren, and Philip.
Yeah.
Oh,
But
you're
you-
right. Yeah.
That was a
Yep.
changeling.
It was a changeling. It was a
Why?
spy.
Wow.
Kyla died.
Then
Kyla
then
died
why-
about 10 minutes after you left Greenhaven.
then
Just
why
full stop.
why did she ask about Nerith?
Because she
there.
was a spy. She's trying to get in there. Yeah. She wanted to get on that ship and fly with you guys. But you guys didn't bite, so I was like, this doesn't really matter. She doesn't need to be there.
Thanks for being a real one.
Yeah.
Mac,
real one.
Real one, Mac, and not taking my ex under your wing.
Yeah.
All right,
I
Meredith,
give-
what'd you
I
roll?
rolled a one. I rolled a
You rolled a
one.
1. Okay. Ooh. Okay.
Tell me now, how do you say that name?
You
Tell me
said her
now.
name before. It's Hadriel.
Did I?
You've said that name before, for sure.
I feel
Well,
like,
Maybe
I feel like
not.
we make it harder than it needs to be. Sometimes.
I mean, I said it earlier.
Yeah,
I-
Hadriel.
Patria. Well, what the fuck? Question number 1. What did Hadriel do with the Mind Flayer's ship?
This I've decided, like, in canon, that this voice that you're doing is a goblin from one of the flying cities giving a quiz on the Valaenian knights.
Excellent. They're
Hell
trying to
yeah.
pass the bridge.
They're
'Cause it's
trying
like it's
to
Monty
pass-
Python.
Probably know all the
That guy
shit.
on the bridge saying like,
What is your favorite color?
Is your favorite color?
Red, no
What?
blue, no green. Oh! Great
Blue,
show.
blue, blue. Anyways,
Hadriel. Yeah, what's up with
What
Hadriel?
happened to her whip?
So her plan was foiled pretty quickly when you guys murked her. But
There's some time in between that.
Common theme.
there was some time. There wasn't a lot. She had to awaken an army of long dead mind flayers, and it took a minute. She brought that ship to Thunderall.
Really?
That ship able to cloak, so it was not seen by anyone, and Far Foreign was not detected by any of any wards that would have been set up in Thunderall. That city was slowly being turned into a mind flayer nest, for sure. The
Man.
ship has the ability to psychically link with creatures within a certain radius, and was slowly converting them into Duragar and mind flayers.
Is they those little elephants? Not those. The little
So-
Yeah, little
so-
little creepy crawlies. Yeah.
When she died, did that ship like shut off, or is it still
Yes.
like was it still going?
Yes, that ship. Less so when she died, and more when the volcano erupted and the city collapsed.
I
Um,
see.
It crashed as well, which actually will be in Patria 2 if you go to Thunderall. There is just a crashed Illithid ship sitting in Thunderall.
Hell yeah.
It's definitely like a circus or something at this point, for sure.
Oh, 100%. It's
Come
just
on,
like a,
come on, all.
Circus,
To the
you
school
it's
said.
it's
ship.
it's just
But
it's
yeah,
just a,
there
it's
was-
just
there
a
was-
bakery.
There was a potential of you guys never going to Thunderall or never finding Hadriel, and Patria 2 Thunderall would just be like an army of Duragar and controlled by mind
Interesting.
flayers.
Like
It would have
what-
been great.
Interesting.
Oh, so if we didn't, yeah, I guess.
Like, you needed to go there for the forge, but you didn't necessarily have to fight her. You could have. Oh, if you
Yeah,
save the
but-
world, we can do this after, and then that would have never.
No, we just wanted to kill her.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
the
guys-
minute
you
the
guys
minute
like-
we knew she was there, we were like, this is it. This is
Right,
like
time to
our
go
final
kill
chance to do this. Like,
Yeah, it's pretty great.
Yeah.
now when the baby.
Oh,
Although would Mother's Mercy have disconnected Illithid magic or no?
I think it's because they're from a different plane than.
It's from a different plane.
Oh, I see. Interesting.
It would have broken Hadriel's control over it, but
Yeah.
the ship
I
itself would have still existed.
see.
Yeah, so that thing, so it would have broken Hadriel's control, so then she would have been able to control the army, and then probably could have like betrayed her.
It's actually similar with like the Feywild. Like, technically, the items created in the Feywild that were in Patria didn't lose their magic because the magic disappeared. They lost it because their connection to the Feywild did.
Yeah.
So if the Feywild had stayed open, the elves would have still had magic,
Mm.
and that would have changed things. But I decided it would make sense if like the whole material plane was kind of trapped in like a pocket space while the gods were gone, since everything was founded on them.
Pocket.
I
Just a
see.
little
I
pocket.
see. Just, a
Just
little
sitting in
pocket.
the keeper, the dreamer's pocket.
Yeah.
Copyright, no.
Oh
Also,
my
hi,
god!
Isaac. Hello, Isaac. How's it going, buddy?
Hi, Isaac.
Hi.
Welcome to the end. It's over. Everyone's dead. Literally, everyone is dead.
Literally, we're all
Yeah.
dead.
Rachel's dead. Isabel's dead. Isabel's dead twice. She got killed and
And
then
then
lived in
killed
Ara's
again.
domain, and then Ara died, so she got vacuum sealed in Kyla's domain. It was rough. It was rough.
She was double. She's like the forgotten forgotten garlic bread in the freezer.
No, not
Oh,
the forgotten
no.
garlic bread.
We've all
Like the
We've
one you're
all
like
been
the
there,
one
man.
single one where you just wrap it up and it just gets shoved in the back on accident.
and like you never, and like you find
know
it.
what,
Like,
you-
I don't want
you
to
know
turn the oven on right now.
You
Yeah.
find it. We find it when you're moving and unpacking the deep freezer, and you're just like,
Toss it in the trash.
Yeah, you're just like,
Because
I'll
it's like
never
from 2
eat
years
this.
ago by that point.
Yeah, yeah.
Like the
yeah.
bag is like opaque, so you don't know what it is. You like open it up. You're like, ah.
All right. If we can get through one more round in the next 15 minutes, then we're on time. And then when Bear joins, we'll just do like a rapid fire to get him caught up.
Mhm.
All right, Daria, roll a d8. Let's see what happens.
Fuck, where did I put my D8? Oh, there it is.
Oh, happy ending.
Man, your dice sound weird.
That's
There you
a
It sounds
5.
like they're
so
getting
I'm
for the
re-rolling.
Pokemon.
Reroll, please.
Pokemon.
That's a 6, so I'm re-rolling.
Reroll, please.
That's a 1. There we
Hey.
go. New number.
Oh, good question. All right. Do you need me to say these names?
Oh, at these names, I recognize these names. Okay.
If you want me to say them, just pause and I'll like voice over it, like we're fixing it in post.
Yeah,
Be sure to put out like a
Oh,
really
it's-
deep voice
it's-
so it
it's
sounds
like-
really
Now,
weird.
Ron.
It's like those like a voice answer machine where it says the
Yeah,
message you have left was by
Tyler.
Bubbly.
Just like yells a name.
Please leave a message. Yeah, exactly. Okay.
I love that.
Question number 1. If we had not fought Dairon before Archelius, would we have made an... Damn it!
Archelicus.
Archelius?
Archelius. His
I think
creepy
you have to
cousin.
say Achilles.
I love it. I'm sorry,
I'm
Bubbly.
pretty
It's
sure
great.
what happened was like my brain was reading that word too fast and it put the C in the wrong. You know,
I was
it doesn't
gonna say,
matter.
every
Dyslexic.
time you
Anyways.
said it wrong, it's you putting
Dyslexic.
2 letters, flipping them. It's been hilarious.
Listen, it's speed reading with dyslexia. It's fine.
You're great.
Yeah.
I promise.
would have made an appearance in the fight.
You know what?
So if Dalron had not been killed, would he have joined the fight? Absolutely. It
Mm.
would have been extremely difficult to win that fight. However,
Oh, yeah.
what was loosely touched on and didn't really become important in the actual fight because you guys were handedly kicking his ass. When Kybella did the ritual with Kyvir, she didn't actually do the ritual that she said she was doing. And that was revealed to Mackenzie in his final moments with Kybella. Rather than singling out all of Kai's fates and putting him on the right path that gave him that ability to re-roll and stuff like that because of your perception of the one true fate that you were leading, Kybella, who is actually a disciple of one of the keepers and not in fact a little old lady living in a village, basically tied your guys' destiny to that of Artelicus, meaning if all of you died, so would Artelicus. So what would have happened is if Dauron joined the fight, any attack that Dauron did on you would affect Artelicus as well. And so that would have been like the dampener effect to not have you get TPK'd.
Yeah, yeah. Huh.
Fun fact.
Interesting.
Kybella did a little tricksy.
Is my add-on to that question here as well? Was Artelicus immune to necrotic damage or resistant?
Oh, I don't even remember that question. Let's pull up his character sheet, which is published on D&D Beyond.
Because I realized after the fight that I had a free 400 hit points worth of necrotic damage sitting in my belt that I could have popped off at any time. But I did.
Let's see. I can't actually remember. It was, 16 whole days ago.
Yeah.
Dauron the Judicator. No, Artelicus. That's who you're asking.
Yeah, Artelicus, yeah.
Autolycus, corrupted god of war, was immune to acid, necrotic, poison, bludgeoning, bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing from non-magical attacks. He was immune to being blinded, charmed, deafened, exhausted, frightened, grappled, incapacitated, invisible, paralyzed, petrified, poisoned, prone, restrained, and unconscious.
Oh my god.
And he was vulnerable to radiant damage.
I see.
He also had 3,800 hit points.
Could I have changed the damage product to radiant?
I mean, you could have certainly tried.
Hey, that would have been dope.
Probably would have
free
tried something
800 damage.
Yeah, that would have been pretty fucky wucky for sure.
Yeah. Just what? Oh, that's
Moonbeam.
Moonbeam. Kai, you're up. Roll low. Roll low or a 7.
Roll low or a 7.
I mean, I guess if they get A, you just read 7.
The highest I can possibly roll that's not a 7?
4.
4.
1, 2,
okay.
3, 4, 7 is what you're
1, 2, 3, 4, 7. If not, I'll re-roll it. Loud dice.
5, 6, 7.
That's a 7.
8, 9, 10.
Let's go!
Hey,
Let's go!
let's
Let's go!
Alright. Alright. My brain's like second guessing this one word, so I'm just gonna leave it blank.
It's 3
letters. It's 4 letters.
Oh,
thank
sorry, there's
you.
an S on the end. I'm sorry.
But my brain's overthinking it now. I'm like,
Okay, are you gonna leave a pause? Then I'll type it. I'll say it for you.
Yes, I will.
All right,
I'm
I'm
keeping to
ready.
your word.
I'm ready. Answering machine voice enabled. Let's go.
Now, when I say this next question, I may pause, but you may hear a random whisper all
A
of a
voice
sudden.
of God from above.
So don't mind him. He's just helping this poor goblin out.
Oh, God, I love this.
Sorry.
Jesus Christ.
It's
I'm
a 4-letter,
dumb.
one-syllable
It's like, what the
word.
fuck? Yeah, but like your brain's like,
sorry,
oh my
but-
god, ants. And it's like, no, it's not ants.
It's so good. All right, go ahead.
Am I, or am I just like the clown? You know what? Just
No,
I'm
you're doing
just
great.
okay.
Did the
Ents.
Oh, I fucking
Oh
knew
my
it.
god.
4-letter, one-syllable word.
Bubbly.
It's not.
Are you
No.
cool?
You're doing great. You're doing great.
No, I'm
Finish the
not.
question. Finish the
It's
question.
fine.
survive the apocalypse, or did Crayola leaving kill?
Wait.
Yeah, Crayola leaving kill them all.
So this was a bear question, but I split it between the two druids because Bear asked more questions than 3 of you combined. So this was one of his questions. They didn't survive as sentient creatures. So the magic that propelled them to be sentient was powered by Kaistis, who, when Kaela left, like all the gods, disappeared. But, and this is a region that's going to come up quite frequently in Patria 2, a new stretching forest known as the Vestarian Wilds were born of this journey southward that all of these trees took. A new forest of old-growth trees that is now used to protect the reclusive elves of the former Vestarian Empire, which has since collapsed. They basically hid in these trees that were, massive in this new forest, so they were unfamiliar to anyone at the current time because it was a brand new thing. And that whole region, which when you see the updated map is quite massive, is known as the Vestarian Wilds, and it's the last semblance of what remains of the Empire of Vestaria. But as sentient ents, they did not survive. Rip trees. Although that was wild that you guys, that Mackenzie made sentient an entire forest was pretty bananas.
Just does that sometimes, okay?
He just does that sometimes.
The entire forests around the world. Like he got
for sure.
oldest forest to become awake.
Hey, can you just
That's
take a
just
walk south
crazy.
and help my allies? Yeah, it was pretty wild.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was a really
that's
good
my
get out of
husband,
jail free
y'all.
card for me to redo the terraforming on Valaenia for sure.
Yeah.
Love it. All right, Wilkes, you're up.
All right.
No more questions.
Oh, session's over. Good night, everybody.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
The goblin has spoken.
Guys,
Goblin
the
is
prof
spoken.
just walked out mid
I
quiz.
just had
I
to
don't,
go
I don't
get
know.
my book number 2.
Oh, it's so
Insert disc number 2 to continue.
Use side B.
good. And now a word from our sponsor.
This
Oh,
video
damn
is
it.
sponsored by
Hey guys,
Sponsored by Skillshare.
sponsored by Squarespace.
Oh god.
You need a website.
If you want to send out all your horse pics, and you need a website like
I'm just happy
Squarespace.
to know that if our stream blows up, I have a bunch of absolute morons to do all of the advertising.
This
Of course.
podcast was sponsored by.
sponsored by
This-
Squarespace.
This
He's just trying to warn you of the bridge.
podcast was
He's just
sponsored
trying to
by
warn you of
Raycon.
the-
I got a
Let's
4.
Raycon.
No, I already said
I heard a 4.
Apex, that we're not going to be sponsored by NordVPN. We're going to be sponsored by whatever their main competitor is,
I'll look
and
at
we're just going to enter the Nordverse to take
Oh,
over.
Fastlane.
no.
Yeah, Fastlane or whatever.
Oh
yeah.
no.
All
We're
right,
gonna
a
challenge
4.
Sorrigan.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna fucking bother.
you don't want to say that word? I promise you, it's not at all said how it's spelled.
Jesus.
Yeah, I'm definitely.
Christ.
Well, now when you say it like that, I'm like,
yeah,
Is it Luke?
It's Sorsha.
Oh,
S
my
A O I R S E.
You
Yeah,
you already had
Sorsha.
Sorsha.
Seorzi. It's just
Seorzi.
Seorzi.
You all right?
So the question, and I kept it exactly as Wilkes
Yeah.
typed it because it was so funny. Sorsha,
Okay.
she dead? Please, I don't want her dead. Pretty please. Also, where did Dagda and the others go? Which was
Oh
me
my
sandwiching in
God.
Colby's question since it was the same question.
Oh my
So,
god.
Sorsa, please spelled PLZ, of course.
Please.
Please,
Yes.
please, or as I say,
don't-
please, I don't want
please-
her. Pretty please.
Please no dragon mommy.
Okay, so here we go. Did
I think you did
Sorsha
compare.
die? And also, where did the other dragons go? She did die,
Oh.
But-
Okay.
But-
Okay.
but
Uh-huh.
she did not die due to the use of wish.
Oh.
Okay, good.
She was able to get away, and oh, this is tough to read, man. It's so sad. She died giving her last breath to Wilkes's parents to get
Oh my
them
god.
to get them to their
Oh.
bodies mere moments before Mother's mercy would have prevented it,
Oh my god.
allowing Wilkes's parents to be, I think, the only blood
Miss-
parents of any of the Valaenian knights to survive.
Wow.
Wow.
God.
Yikes.
Jesus
As
Christ.
for the rest of the dragons,
Woo.
in order to answer this question, we must first remember the origin of the Gasori dragons, which was they all were
Generals.
generals in Kaela's army, and before they were given a dragon form, they were mortals who fought alongside Kaela during the invasion. And one of the upgrades Kaela did to her people was to turn her generals into these massive dragons to turn the tide. And that was a blessing given by Kaela, who then left.
Yeah.
All of the dragons, kind of a reversal of what happened to a lot, due to how long they had been in this form, were left in their dragon forms.
Oh.
Huh.
Some of them live, some of them don't. Some of them are hiding. Some of them may have been corrupted by the time Patria 2 rolls around. Who knows? But there are no more Council of Gasori. They are now dragons.
Just dragons.
There be dragons, including Luke, who
Uh,
did survive.
Can I
Oh,
can
okay.
I ask specifically where Dagda went when we reached Thunderall? Like after he just up and left? Did he
Dagda
just go-
was the main force trying to stop the fall of Solana Asari. Him,
Oh,
Sorsha,
dude.
and the Elendran army were all that stood in the way of Artelegos' forces, and Dagda and Sorsha both nearly lost their life in that fight. Yeah, the dragons decided that because of the ritual that Kybella did and the whispers that they were hearing, if you remember from Mother's Mercy speech, she had been whispering to all of her children, which did include the dragons, of what they needed to do to allow a path to be forged for the heroes of the age to succeed.
Mm.
They knew that you guys would be able to handle Artelecus if they could hold back as many of his troops as possible, which is what they did.
Okay.
I see.
And also, I wasn't going to give you 7 dragons in a boss fight.
Well, yeah.
I feel like that was
I mean,
too much work for you.
You
we
could have, should have
closed.
tried.
We had 4 dragons in a boss
You
fight.
did have 4, 5. Yeah, 4
5.
dragons.
They have
It was-
four
it was
fucking
entirely too many dragons.
I don't know what you're talking about. There could have been. We could have shoved one more in there. We could have shoved one more.
I could
All right,
have.
Nerith.
I could have. Yeah.
Bring it home, D8. End of round 4. Combat's going well.
7.
7.
This is the fastest Yeah.
This is the fastest combat.
I crit.
Where am I? Okay.
Nerith
Crit
said,
10 times.
There's no names in this except for his.
Yeah, well, I know that. Question
So
number 7.
sassy, this goblin.
Listen, my back hurts. This book is heavy. I don't know what you want from me.
Professor,
I've
we've
been
been telling
carrying
you to
around-
sit at the desk for the last hour.
You
No
have
one can
not.
see me.
You have not sat at your desk this entire
No
school
one
year.
can see me. It's such a great response.
You want a tangent about mayonnaise?
I like mayonnaise.
Okay, go ahead. Mo.
Exactly.
You fucking monster.
Okay,
Oh.
good. Wait, question number 7. Could Nerith have traveled to the 3rd floating city? What was there?
What was that? So I added this question to Nerith's roster just as a potential plot point that could have happened. It was optional. There were a lot of Easter eggs that were missed, and that's the whole point of Easter eggs, that they're not mandatory quest markers. Millbury, which is the 3rd city, which was locked to all except for the Champion of Mallow, held something called the Child's Museum, which you did know. And in that museum were secrets left by all of the previous champions, not just of Mallow, but of all the champions.
Oh.
It was their journal, so to speak. So there would have been stuff in there that, nothing earth-shattering, but it would have made some of the researching take less time if you had instead decided to try go there. It would have given you more context to what was happening at the end. It would have revealed ahead of time some of the secrets of Hadriel, the secrets of Solrend, the sect, etc. Basically just a giant information cache, which would have taken a lot less time to go through than the research that you guys did. But there was nothing earth-shattering in there that would have changed the campaign. It was a journal. It was, in fact, if the Sky Cities had survived the Mother's Mercy, your story would have been added there by someone who knew close of you. Anyways, so that would have happened afterwards, regardless.
I was gonna say, was there anyone that knew Nerith closely still alive?
That one researcher that you used a lot during the 10th period.
Oh, that's
the lady who helped you build the Githera lived.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh shit.
That is your last person who probably knew some things that even your allies didn't, because you guys spent time just building shit. So
just broing
out. I don't remember her name. It's not important.
No,
but I have it somewhere.
I could make these guys evil if I wanted to.
Yeah, I could just put those little bit of sriracha sauce in them, and they'd be fucked up.
Yeah, remember there, so they were fun.
No,
remember when at least me and Mackenzie thought the Githera were gonna be evil?
Yeah,
like 100%. And we were
was like, I'll show them evil.
I just want to share with you guys probably the funniest thing about the notes that I wrote for session 61 to 64, which was the While We Were Gone flashbacks.
Mm-hmm.
I had that little Excel spreadsheet that told you how long each thing was going to take, which was awesome. But on top of that, I wrote little bullet points. My favorite one, so under Daria, there's 2 bullet points, and then the third one is training equals big muscles. And then under Nerith, there is a single bullet point, and it says, just let him nerd out for about 45 to 60 minutes. And that's the only notes I left for Nerith. So the name of your helper is Forever Lost to Time.
Oh no. I feel like it started with like an A.
It was a weird name. Yeah, it was like Tamara or something nonsense like that. It was a crazy Goliath lady. She was great. She had big goggles. Awesome.
Hot.
Hot.
He's
dog.
kind of emaciated.
Okay, another round the table question.
Should we or should we pause?
Well, we could pause because Bear should be here shortly.
I need one question answered. It's the only reason I came here. I need one
Wow.
question answered. No. It's the main question I want to answer.
Going forward, you can all roll a d4 instead of a d8 since we're halfway through your 8 questions.
Nice.
That'll make things a little bit easier. Oh God, I need another. Anyone got a good group question? So many options.
Favorite
Oh, you got it.
favorite player RP interaction.
Ooh.
Oh, a
Mine-
favorite moment.
Mine will forever be Mackenzie talking to Daria in the mole hole.
In the where?
In the mole hole. When I first joined the campaign after we discovered that Daria was
the
a werewolf.
first scene.
Yeah,
It was a badger hole.
he was a
Little
well, you know what I
badger
mean. Yeah,
Yeah,
he dug
badger
a hole for her to stay out of the moonlight, and then he just talked with her for a while. That will forever be my favorite.
That's a pretty good one.
I think you guys can guess mine.
I think you can also guess one. We can move on to the next people.
The marriage.
Are you guys gonna say?
Yeah, we should probably
Yeah,
do
you
it
wanna
on a
do
count
it
of
one
three.
last
All right,
Three,
one
two,
last time for the road, buddy.
Alright, ready? 3,
3, 2.
1. The
The
wedding.
marriage scene.
Yeah.
So good.
Should I just
Super
say
gay.
something? Meeting Kyla.
Break.
Killing
Going to the
Kyla.
keeper.
Mine was probably oh shit, I just forgot it. God damn it. The scene where I think it was multiple of you, the scene of you guys all calming down Mackenzie when he ran away from Dragonmore.
Oh yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
Oh, I did like that.
That was super. I think that was the first time Mackenzie cried in character, and it was like, it's like, oh god, this is a real campaign. We're not just a bunch of like, we're crying.
think-
We be crying here.
Every time we would talk over each other, just as we were trying to explain something, is my
Oh, wait.
Greatest
No.
The
bit. My favorite bit we ever did was when Bryn and Kai left to go do something, and we were arguing about Daria going hunting to go just kill some shit, and then we like instinctively made a pause in the conversation and like picked up at a random point. The argument had gotten way worse.
I can wood carve. What do you mean?
I made an arm and a platinum. What do you mean? Just arguing. That was my favorite bit because I was like, we were just so in sync for it.
That entire egg scene, that
Yeah.
entire scene was so good. I love that bit so much.
Because
Oh my, just the four of us sitting around the campfire, just fucking doing
arguing.
nothing.
yeah.
Just I beat this deer with my bare hands. Why did you beat it with your bare hands?
You have so many other weapons.
He has so many other weapons.
I think those are the funniest moments.
I sold my bow 10 months ago. that was the greatest bit.
I don't know. I had a lot of fun with all the interactions of every party member trying to get Isabel to not do something completely ridiculous.
Oh my god.
Like the
Oh.
scene in Analthere where she was just interrogating. I don't even remember who it was. He had a
Isabel with a
crazy
Y.
name. Isabel with a Y. Miss Grover was great.
Yeah.
I don't
But
know
what
why
about
it's such a
the
long
shopkeep that Isabel was just
Oh, just
extremely
went up and
racist
racially
to?
profiled them.
Oh,
That was
just
ridiculous.
the events of Isabel interacting with tieflings was just.
Why did she hate me so much?
I don't know.
It
For
was
someone who
just
was friends
crazy.
of
Here, I
Anne.
have it. Yes, the affordable belt. That's the name of the store.
Oh my
The
god!
affordable
All the
belt.
shop
The
names. in
shopkeep
Anno Theater.
raises a hand with a wave when you come up to the counter. He introduces himself as Carrion Laranfa, the proprietor of the general store. Yeah, and he was just dressed real nice.
That's so
friendly
funny.
as all hell. And
Yeah.
Isabel's like, What are you?
There was also
Are
also the brothel that you guys hard avoided because
The velvet glove.
the ladies' glove. Yeah,
Yeah.
Ladies'
The one
glove.
night we
Oh,
couldn't
yeah.
go to
I
because
couldn't
that
I was
was
invited
so
to the
funny.
It was
There
a
would have been
club
nothing
shop.
bad if you went in there, but it was so funny that the entire group was just like, yeah, we're just gonna absolutely not go there.
We can't
Oh,
go there
wait.
yet.
It was
What,
so
what
funny.
was it?
The Wailing Mason and the Word.
No.
That's the best bar.
What's
in
the
the
word?
word?
best one.
What's the word?
Did-
What's
did-
the word?
Did the dough? I forget. Did the dough below make a comeback?
the dope below?
The Dobolo from Greenhaven.
Yeah, or did we,
you'll
or
have
was
to
that?
you'll have to see if it exists in Flintgate.
No,
No.
we
I'm
did it in
pretty sure the
Dronora.
dude-
No, we did it in Dronora. There was a dough. It was the dough above, and it was in Dronora. And like we're
All
like,
right, so
man.
now there's gonna be the dough around
The dough around.
and the dough
Around.
within.
Go within. My
no,
that's
we
my
did it in
fucking
Trinora,
pastry
we
shop,
brought
the
back-
dough within.
The dough
Holy-
within.
Greenhaven had some
Mr.
of
Dough
the
Rider
yeah.
with
the
your-
coolest
I'm
shops, that's for sure.
make the dough within a part of my Starfinder kingdom.
Man. Also,
The
I think one of my
Unicorn's
favorite-
Hall, the Golden
I
Thorn,
think one of my
Preta
favorite-
Soul.
What was your favorite shop? Who's like besides Logus? What was your favorite shop in shop?
I love the pet store. It-
yeah, where
It's just a
Isabel
guy
got
with
critted
a
on
bunch of
by a
endangered
fucking
animals.
baby displacer beast.
Yeah, and then
Jesus.
Isabel
like
not
40
only got crit by it, but then thought she bought an eagle and bought a pigeon.
and named it Michelle.
And then
Michelle!
the
She
second
did
they
the
brought
flower.
Michelle out, she flew away and never came back.
Yeah, Thamdal's prodigious companions.
Honestly,
Shopkeep sell. Here are my notes for this shop. Shopkeep sells quote normal pets like birds, dogs, cats, etc. He has started selling familiars of all different types. Shopkeep blah blah blah. Building has a few caged animals, and then in brackets beside all of the animals is just like it's actually this. It's actually this.
Oh my
they were
God.
all phony. It was so good.
Did Michelle survive the Mother's Mercy?
Absolutely
No,
not.
We actually
Michelle
did we
probably got-
actually kill Michelle with something?
No.
I thought you guys
No.
tried to. You guys
No,
saw
she
her
just
later in the
flew away.
campaign.
She just flew.
No,
Oh,
we
no,
did see her later in the campaign.
And the
That
dark
was
it.
end of at the funeral.
She was at her funeral, but we didn't do
That
it.
was it. We were at Isabel's funeral and the pigeon landed like on her coffin. And we're like, Michelle, you're back.
Michelle!
She came back.
Oh my god.
Oh, You were a good bird.
That bird. That fucking
Michelle
bird.
tried her best, alright?
Oh my
I
She
think-
flew straight over, like trying to scout, and just flew straight and flew away. That was the
Oh,
funniest
she was-
fucking thing.
Literally.
You guys were also on the airship when
I was gonna say,
she
I think it
came
was the
up.
airship that
So she just
like,
went,
spooked her.
I like to imagine that Michelle like flew into Artelicus.
Oh no.
the
think-
final scene as Kyella is like caressing Artelicus's cheek is just a pile of pigeon
Michelle-
shit falls on Artelicus's forehead
Beard, on
and,
his beard.
and flies off into the sunset.
That bird had Gucci shoes on. What the fuck?
Oh yeah, I forgot. Is Michelle had shoes?
Yeah, Michelle was the
Fuck
picture I
out.
used for Waterdeep Dragon Eyes.
Yeah. Okay.
I think Bear's gonna be a little bit longer, so we'll go through one more round.
I was gonna say, I was gonna propose another group question.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
What was the most? What do you guys think was the most like? The moment in the campaign, where like I don't know, where it made you feel most like a party, where you were like, man, this is a group, or you felt most united as a party. You know what I'm trying to say?
What made this campaign a campaign?
When we all
with
committed,
this group?
like just us talking over each other, I feel like that's just a constant bit.
Yeah.
The constant bit. Like we all agreed. We never said that we were gonna do it right before. We just would do it, and then
Yeah.
and then
I
like I don't know. Go ahead.
I always think the war room scenes. I think we did so well.
Yeah, yeah.
I love
They got
that.
progressively better.
Yeah. Well, and the snowball fight. I still loved the snowball fight we had when
fun.
we first got into Annals.
and used a 5th level spell. It almost killed you.
And almost killed him.
Pandemonium.
Oh shit!
Yes.
It's there.
Literally
Yeah,
almost
pandemonium.
killed. Almost killed.
I
Did, like,
think
fucking birdie
I
go
got
in?
to the I got to the top of the infinite stairs. You're never gonna believe it.
Oh no.
Oh my
I
god!
I think
Not
my
so
favorite,
infinite now.
Hold on there. Hold on.
Sorry.
I think the moment, like, it was super late in the campaign, but I think the moment where all of us felt like a party was when we all collectively decided that Hadriel had been a thorn in our side too long, and we had to figure that out.
Yeah,
And,
you
like,
guys, you guys were
that
marred
fight
by a
was
lot of
great.
blood, that's for sure.
Yeah.
A lot of
that fight was
decisions were
great.
made upon people's lives. Okay, Mackenzie is here.
Rapid fire.
We have gotten through 4 questions each, which means we are going to rapid fire yours.
Oh man!
Roll a d8, sir.
Roll a d8.
Roll
Oh,
D8 4 times.
Quick.
Remember each one.
Pressure! The pressure's real.
No.
You
I
rolled
have my
a
dice. I have my dice.
you
They're
rolled a
right
nat
next-
one. You rolled a nat one on initiative, and you've been holding your actions the entire time.
You've been holding
Fuck
4
yeah.
actions this whole time.
All right, D8.
Honestly,
That's
still
a
the
5.
quickest. 5, okay. Bubbly, do you want to read them out, or do you want me to rapid fire them?
Well, up to you. Like, it doesn't matter to me.
No, you go ahead. There's not too many names in this one.
Dude, the voice
What?
just.
Are you doing
To
the
the
roll?
right.
Bubbly's been doing a voice this whole time, and it's fucking hilarious.
I am the
Alright.
Goblin who keeps all the questions.
Do I need to also do a voice here? or,
Oh
like,
Jesus! Oh, here we
You're
go.
more than welcome to, stranger.
Hey,
You're
Goblin,
the one
let's
asking
do
me the
it.
questions.
I'm asking you the question.
I know, and I'm trying to.
Okay. Let's get to the question, David. we got a lot left to go.
I think
though.
the
I want to keep
professor
us
is
to
loony.
3 hours. Yeah, the principal is now auditing the classroom.
Yeah.
I hated those days, man. It's like I gotta be normal.
I promise all of these names are said exactly how they're spelled.
You got this. I
We'll
believe in you.
see.
We'll see.
Question number 5. What happened to Woodrow and
Yes.
Moody,
Modi!
and all
Good
other
enough.
Moody and all other familiars and magical creatures? Sad face.
Cry face.
Sad face because it's sad. Fuck you, Kyle.
As all magical effects, they faded.
Ugh.
However, I like to think that at least in Patria, I don't know if this is exactly rules as written, so to speak. I think it kind of is. All of those little familiars came from somewhere, and they weren't just materialized. They come from pocket dimensions, and that is where they returned.
Yay!
Woodrow wasn't a familiar. So
Yeah,
he's
No,
that's
dead.
true.
Woodrow is just a bush, and it was put in a weird place, so no one knew to water it. So yeah, he did.
He did.
Actually,
die.
wait, no, even worse. Woodrow was on the Tempest.
Oh,
Woodrow
no.
went down in a blaze of glory.
No!
Wood-
that-
Wood-
He was the
Woodrow-
one steering the ship.
Wait, you're
He was
telling me the
one steering
Gasori
the
didn't
ship.
save their sibling?
No, Woodrow.
No.
Woodrow was on the front of the ship doing a fucking Mad Max.
Yeah.
Witness me.
He was the character from Mad Max who's just playing the guitar at the front of the.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Woodrow for sure. The Gisera tried to take Woodrow, and he was like, "No, let me have this."
I must
He goes
inspire
down
the
with
crew.
the
He's actually a 13th level bard.
I
Yeah.
knew it.
Ah,
You
you
guys
did.
actually
Infinite
drank his tea,
serving
you
with
would've
you,
known.
sir.
All right, rapid fire number 1. Roll another d8.
Why did I set everything to the side?
I don't know.
Fuck!
It's extremely inconvenient.
It's so inconvenient. No, I don't have my DA. Where did
What?
it
You
go?
just
Do you
rolled
want me to
What the
roll for you? Do you want me to roll for you? there?
Yeah.
Okay,
What did I
okay.
do?
3.
3. Okay, 3.
Okay. Just
Bear
highlighting
unsummoned
it.
his
Give me a second.
Oh no, his
Buddy!
DA went to pandemonium.
It fell down this. It fell down
down
the
the
stairs.
stairs forever.
Goes on the infinite stairs.
All right. Go ahead, Bubby.
Question number 3. Was the mask from the Underdark a plot hook
Yeah.
device? Could I have learned something?
Damn, I forgot about the mask. Oh, and the silver
Moonstone
too.
mask. Oh, the silver. You guys had I teased the silver so many times.
I didn't think it was important.
The Moonstone mask was not necessarily a plot hook for campaign 1, but it was one of the first signs for the players, not even really for the characters, that the Black Star's armies were from all over the plains, not just from, as the Remnant has discovered, partially from the Feywild. It was meant to demonstrate that his reach is much wider than just Patria.
Okay.
It was not really a plot hook, but yeah, it was a little bit of a lore drop. Like if you had done legend lore on it, for example, you probably would have gotten a little bit more. But
legend lore druids.
I mean, you had a spell available. You would have had to farm it out.
Yeah, Isabel could have got it.
Yeah,
what was the coin for?
The silver is alien metal. It is metal not of Patria, and could have been used for. It did have some magical properties that at one point I had written up a little bit about, but you guys could have melted that down and used that for something.
Shit, we could have made the Artilicus punching gloves more punchy.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is why, if you remember, I think it was Nick or Bear, but when they added to their inventory, they counted it as silver pieces. Like, no. Count this as a jar of 4,000 gold.
Yeah, I have it in Nara's character sheet as
like a note or something, I think.
It's because Nara's inventory was always broken.
It's originally mine, and then I died, so.
I have it as 4,000 otherworldly silver.
Yeah, so it could have been, you could have had some magical properties. It didn't in its coin form, but if you had melted it down and cleared of any impurities, you may have discovered something. All right, Mackenzie, roll again.
I rolled a 2.
A 2. Oh no.
Oh no.
This is a rough one, guys. Hold on.
Oh no.
Which one is these?
How did Moose or Garrett come back?
Yeah.
Oh.
So how did Garrett have a physical form?
Yeah. How did he come back to life?
Garrett was one of the first soldiers in the Sex Army. His soul joined the Pale
The
Heart.
what army?
The sect of the Seven.
I heard
Okay, I heard SEX, so that's why
He
I.
was in the sexy army.
You
that's
animals!
true.
Garrett? I mean, I can
his
see the
soul
family
joined the Pale Heart, but was pulled out and experimented on by the priests of Dauron before Dauron even returned. And
telling me it was worse.
it was, yeah. He was, because that would have been like 12 years ago. So Dauron hadn't even returned, or 15 years ago in Mackenzie's timeline. So he was used to. They were still trying to figure out like how to leverage the Pale Heart to raise an army, and he was one of the first souls that was captured.
Motherfuckers.
Damn. And so they gave him.
Was that gonna be like a?
Or did he find his body?
He found his body.
If there had been
his grave was empty for a long time.
If there had been time, would there have been more of an arc regarding that?
Yes, it is one of your other questions. We will get there.
Cool.
Okay, one more D8.
One more D8. Rolling. No, I fell out of the dish. No, I bounced out of the dish again. 4.
Okay.
Hey, 5, 4,
Wow.
3, 2.
That's a good one. It's a good one. All right,
Hey.
Bubbly, bring it home. Just throws up live on Twitch. Oh, Jesus.
Stop. Until you're done.
Stop.
Okay. We're good. Poor Nick.
Sorry, that went up my nose. Question number 4.
Ew.
Actually, true story. Vomit has gone up my
No!
nose.
No!
You tell the story.
Canon!
Okay.
End of story.
Why does it have to be canon?
Because the goblin said so.
Bring that to the lore builders, Tyler.
Let me just wipe it off the book. 1 second. Okay.
Jesus Christ.
Why is it my questions that are getting puked?
Go ahead, Bubble.
Because we're speed running and it's making
We're
me
trying
nauseous.
to. We're trying to.
Question number 4. Was there a god that favored Mackenzie past being cannon fodder?
Fodder.
Fodder?
Cannon fodder. I literally am asking, was there a god that gave so much as a shit?
So, at least in my head, the way I looked at it is while you were not championed by any of the 9, the Council of 5 specifically, so Lothar, Mallow, the twins, and Maestra, favored Mackenzie for his strong will and determination to protect what family he had left. And they knew that your spite of the gods, your not full hatred, but your disdain for their authority, did not bequest you to need a champion, but rather to act as the glue that held the knights together.
All right.
So you were favored to be important, but not you didn't need to be a champion.
I didn't need your godly powers. I turned into a rock monster on my own.
Exactly.
We're kind of building off the talk of the champions. Were there any other champions besides Kai and Nerith officially becoming champions of their gods?
So Nerith and Kai were confirmed. Daria in the final fight was given the full force of Aura through some of the magic he tried to twist, so that granted you that status to some extent. Wilkes was Maestra's champion, especially after the second time he came back, and with the spark within, basically became the god of magic himself.
Yeah.
But no, Bryn and Mackenzie did not need such favors.
I see.
All right, we're back up to the top of initiative. We do need to speed run a little bit, so we'll probably only do one more group question at the end. So let's get through. There's still a lot of cool questions asked. So Daria, roll a D4, please. Everyone was switching to D4.
Switching to D4s, eh?
4. So that's question 8, Bubbly.
My God, I was like,
This is your bonus question. This is the question that I was trying to get you to ask that you just seem to not give a shit about. So this is great.
Okay.
Cannot believe you did not ask this.
I didn't ask this? What was the question?
Question number 8. Bonus! What happened to the pack after the Mother's Mercy?
Oh,
What happened to your brother? You had siblings. You really? I can't believe you didn't ask about this.
I didn't put them in your bag.
didn't
Like,
give
it
a
was,
shit.
Did you ghost your brother?
You did.
I mean, in the epilogue, she never went back to the pack.
No, you fucking did ghosted
Straight up
your
ghosted
only
her.
sibling.
Well, I mean, she did make an agreement that the pack would work with the Venatori, and she
Yeah,
worked
but then
with
all the
Venatori
gods
for 10
died.
years, so
Yeah, what happened to the
if he
werewolf?
survived,
So the
what
pack.
happened to him?
The illness that caused lycanthropy was diluted enough over the generations to not be seriously affected by the magic leaving Patria. It had become a natural born disease that was influenced by lunar light more so than a magical curse. And they continued to transform and roam the thawing veil because the white veil began to thaw. So their homeland was no longer important, and it wasn't relevant to what they wanted to do. So most of them moved west as the Blue Mountains thawed out. However, the Ryerson Guard, that tiny nation at the top that we never really looked at in the campaign, took the collapse of the Republic of Tobig and the Empire of Ekram to push forward and actually claim a lot more territory, and they still hold it to the campaign. Some of them joined them and became members of the Ryerson Guard because they weren't evil. They were just a conquering nation, and they liked the strength that they saw, and that was something they respected. While others turned against it and began fighting within the ranks of the new empire, which was formed by Tyrus, who actually survived the conflict. So your pack no longer recognizing the authority of the Venatori again, broke up, basically. A good chunk of them went to the Ryerson Guard, and a good chunk of them went to the Empire, and a bunch more just became wanderers.
What happened specifically to Aram?
I would imagine Aram would have sought you out at some point.
Okay.
He
And
came
probably would have
to
at
dinner
least.
for holidays.
Yeah, he became like the weird uncle who would come and like watch Maris so that you could try get Mackenzie to like be a human again. But no, he was just on the outsides. He wasn't. He had never been a part of what you guys were doing, so he was more just glad to see that you survived.
Yeah. I mean, I had invited him to the council. He just never showed up. So
yeah, he was busy. All right, Kyvier, roll a d4.
A D4, boy. Loud dice. It's gonna be quieter because it's small.
That's still loud.
It's still pretty loud. That was a
That's a 4.
There's another 4. Okay, so question 4 for Kyvier.
Question number 4.
Which is actually one of Bear's questions, but I evened them out so that everyone had 8.
Question number 4. Did we get the good ending?
Did we get the good ending? No.
Yes.
But you didn't get the bad ending.
You didn't collect enough collectible items.
You got what I am considered the hero's ending, but it wasn't a perfect hit. For example, you could have saved Garrett. You could have saved Garrett. He was savable. You could have saved Wilkes, as we discussed previously with Soul Rent. And there was the instance that led to Nereth's death was not set in stone. That was just circumstance. So Nereth could have survived as well.
I thought you said the recall was
scripted. Yeah.
Some of it was, but they could have been saved for the end of the campaign. I think the main one would have been like Garrett, for example.
Yeah. I wanted to.
That doesn't mean you guys failed. And I think that's the point of that is especially when we go into Patria 2, like the same way that you guys are all giving me secrets and prophecies related to your backstory is the same way that I'm going to be building up your layers of success. You may succeed in your short-term goal and fail in your middle goal, and it might just happen that way. And I don't want to take away from that idea. But yeah, I think you guys got the hero's ending, the hard ending, but not the bad ending. If you guys had failed to kill Artelicus, he would have been contained by the surviving gods. So if Anne had been killed, it would have re-released the sparks and given them back to the deities, except for Ainera, who was truly dead, and Maestra, who wasn't with Anne to begin with. And they would have contained him similar to the way that they fought off the invasion. He would have come back the same way that the Black Star might in the future. So Patria 2 would have been a little bit worse. I think magic would still exist in some regards, but there would be a lot more evil prevalent in the world because it would be more attractive to fiends and feral creatures and infernals and things like that to invade. So that would have been like the worst ending, and then the good ending would just be, hey, you all live happily ever after. But that wasn't really meant to be. I mean, like you said, the recall was scripted to an extent. Wilkes pretty much knew what was going to happen, even though there was an out. It just didn't thematically make sense for Wilkes to survive.
Didn't have enough time to save Garrett.
So here's the shitty thing, and this is nobody's fault. Actually, no, never mind. This is someone else's question, so we'll actually keep it. Okay, that's number 4 from Kyvier.
I don't think I asked this question, but can I ask, with talking about the ending, would having had more forces on our side had contributed to getting a better ending?
I mean, it definitely wouldn't hurt. You would have had the advantage of having more people, more action economy. Which would have made it less likely for Nair to be in a position where he was killed by that necrotic blast at the end of the fight.
Yeah. If we had made a deal with Zariel, and we had like the legions of hell on our side.
That's one of your questions, so we'll get.
That was one of my questions. Okay.
Yes, it was.
I didn't know if that was.
Okay, Wilkes, you're up. Roll a d4, sir.
I got a 4.
Another 4. That's 3 4s.
3 4s. Angel
That's
numbers.
question 7 on the
Winning.
chart.
Hey.
Oh, this is another good follow-up. Okay.
Okay. Question number 7. What would have happened if we chose to actually kill Archelius? Like, permanently.
Again.
I love Archelius, man. He's my
Archelius
main
is
G.
great.
He's so good.
Archelius.
He's my
Archelius
favorite
is-
NPC.
He's definitely like Artelicus's like weird cousin for sure.
Yeah, he
He's the
like got
weird
way
uncle.
too
He's the
into.
love child of Achilles and Artelicus.
Yeah,
This is
exactly.
Lord.
He got
This is
way,
Lord.
he got way into
I-
wild trains.
I say this is canon. The goblin is what's it called? Not only can't read, but is more so is like it has taken word of mouth for so long.
Oh, for sure.
that now they're just messing up all the
Oral
names.
This is the
Oh my
surviving
God.
history of the Valaenian Knights. I love it.
You heard this from some weird old bird one time.
Yeah.
With shoes on for some
It was
reason.
shoes on.
Weird.
He had
Weird.
shoes on.
So
Gotta
if
get all the
you
words.
if you had killed Artelicus, much like any creature that is from another plane that is a certain level, he would have gone back to the abyss. That became his home plane due to what happened to him while he was there. So you would have had to go to the abyss and fight him to get the spark, while racing against the clock as Anne's body was slowly being destroyed by the deific powers that she was holding. So it would have been even worse because you would have now been injured. Maybe 1 or 2 of you died if you did that. You would have had to heal up, try get 1 or 2 more people to help you find a way to get to the abyss. I guess plane shift, and hope to God that you can now kill Artelicus in the abyss in his lair. So you guys definitely picked the right call by not killing him in the overworld.
Yeah.
For sure. All right, Nerith.
Totem and then called it a day.
I mean, yeah, you could just like, all right, our work is done, and the next group of heroes can go to the abyss.
We're gonna retire now.
I rolled a 2.
I rolled a 2. Okay, that is number 4. Oh, hell
Damn. 4 4s.
What the fuck is that last word?
Alindra. You can do the voicemail
Okay.
thing.
Thank
Well, this is a good one.
Question number 4. What was the meaning of the message from, I'm gonna call her Hag, and Alindra?
That's her name, the Hag and Alindra.
The Hag!
So half of the party did not exist. In fact,
Yeah.
only 2 of you existed when this happened. So way back, in fact, I pulled up ye old session notes.
I only remember the hag as you guys talking about it.
This is wild. Session 3, Algar's
Oh my
lair.
God.
In the pit below Algar's house was a picture frame.
Yeah.
Let's see. I'm literally looking at the notes for session 3 right now. 1 second. Where the hell?
Back
was
when me and Nerith carried.
There it is. Okay. So this was in I'm gonna read the whole notes because it's really funny. This was in chamber B4, squeezing through the 2-foot wide opening into a dimly lit room that appears to be partially caved in. On the far side is another door that is currently closed. In the room around you is very little besides some skeletal remains. However, near the door propped into the corner, you do notice a small portrait painting. The portrait is of a beautiful female elf in royal attire sitting on a throne beautifully crafted into the base of a massive tree. Nerith recognizes this is Empress Alindra of the Vestarian Empire, and on the back is a note in Elvish, "Take this to remember me, my love," signed Ally, A-L-Y. So some sort of pet name that Alindra had. I think after the fact, this one's a little bit self-explanatory. This one was from Alindra to Dauron's father when he returned to Thindral without her. Why was it in the Hag's room? They were using the writing to impersonate her, and this is actually the writing that they used to slowly distance the Vestarian Empire from the former leader of Himsi. If you remember, Himsi had kind of gone dark in the campaign about 25 years beforehand, and that is because of a disinformation campaign by letters of importance signed Alindra, but also signed by other elven dignitaries, and that allowed Dauron to take over leadership of Himsi as a replacement emissary with an official documentation signed by Alindra. So this was the first key about what they were doing in Himsey. It was never really meant to be discovered, but again, it was just one of those little Easter eggs that existed.
Yeah, no, that's crazy.
God
It has way more magnitude than I thought.
Session 3.
Yeah, no,
Wow.
I was going through my notes and I was like, this. I never found out why.
Yeah, it was just writing material to forge her signature.
I honestly thought when I found that out, I thought Alindra was gonna betray us for like
for
a while.
sure. That's how it was written when you guys went to Malware as well. Like, why is she cuddling with these evil dwarves? Like, yeah, for sure. All right, Bear, roll a d4.
I pre-rolled one. I got a 3.
3, so that's question number 7.
Question
that's a
number
good
7. Where did Mackenzie's primordial powers come from?
Yeah, this is the one I was hoping for.
I could say that, but I can't say half these names.
Yeah,
What
I was
the
just
fuck?
gonna say, great job on Primordial.
I hate myself.
You're doing great, Bubbly.
You're doing amazing.
Where am I?
It wasn't something that I meant to explore in the campaign, partially due to time constraints, and also because the idea of you guys discovering knowledge about the primordials, which predated the gods, just seemed to be too much power to give the one campaign, and it's definitely something that's going to be explored in the next few campaigns, honestly. However, the idea came late. Obviously, we made that creature long after the campaign. But my headcanon was always based on the fact that the Mackenzie line, so the Kermodum line, had a ancestor who was a Jade Singer and who had completed all of the trials. And by completing those trials, became very in tune with the elemental planes, and something that happened within their lifetime put this seed of primordial potential in your bloodline. And through the interactions that you then had over and over again with the gods, it just became possible for you to do that. And obviously with the help of Kybella, who probably put something in your tea, was able to coax it out pretty easily.
Yeah,
It's a good one.
Kybella. Wait, was Kybella one of my questions? I think it was. I hope
Yes, that's one of your questions. Okay, so that's number 7 from Bear. So top of initiative, we're going through it. We're doing great. Daria, roll a d4.
I should have pre-rolled. That's a 4. Fuck.
It's a 4, so it's question
2.
6.
Well,
No,
because
you
we
just-
did the 4 was.
Just roll a damn d4. You got a 4.
Oh,
that's
okay.
Question number 7. I gotta gray out your old one. 1 second.
Okay. I'm gonna butcher this name, it's fine. Question number 7. What would have happened if we were to make a deal with Zariel instead of fight her?
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, she was a very powerful creature, but she wasn't just, pure blind rage and destruction. She, as explained, was a fallen angel, but not only that, was a high-ranking member in the Nine Hells, so had a layer of political attributions to her. She would have turned on you during the Artelicus fight. Easily. Like, just that's what she would have done. However, she doesn't like the gods either, and she hates the Abyss. So she would have attacked both of you. She would have equally have wanted to kill Artelicus and kill you, which would have made things very difficult, because if she did kill Artelicus, again, as previously answered, you would have had to fight him in the Abyss. It would have been super interesting, but it would have been extremely complicated. But I left it open. It was definitely something I was willing to let you guys do.
Interesting.
I love it. All right, Kai, bring it home. D4.
All right. Dice. 3.
Okay, another Hadriel question. I love it.
Nice.
I think this is one of Bear's questions that I stole.
The whole deal!
This was one of yours.
What?
I only heard the whole deal. That was so good.
Yeah.
Try that again, Bubbly. I think you cut out.
I realize I may have been a little too loud.
It's like peaked your mic.
Apologize. What was the whole deal?
Oh, I don't remember.
Hadriel.
Hadriel. Thank you, God. Her past life, etc.
Yeah, so what was Hadriel's origin? Why was she evil, though? So this was slightly asked. This was, prodded upon. I think this was one of the research topics that you guys tried to delve, and you didn't get a lot of information. Hadriel was a human child born in the forest north of Greenhaven, not too far where I believe Kai and Wilkes went to that. I think it was Bryn.
It was me.
Wilkes.
It was
Daria. Yeah, who went to?
It was Daria and Kai.
Gate? Daria and Kai. Gotcha. When you guys went to go see all those Goliaths that wouldn't talk to you. She grew up not too far away from there. She had a normal upbringing. However, a dwarven man who had been cursed by something unknown but seemingly linked to the sect poisoned her mind as well as his own. So he spread his disease to her. When she was later killed by sacrifice by the sect, her soul accidentally got pulled into the vessel, which was close by and happened to be close by this ritual. And from there, Anne became Hadriel for a while, which we talked about what that looked like, until Anne was eventually strong enough, and actually with the help of Simon, when they were traveling together, it was able to extract Hadriel into an amulet that was then misplaced. And eventually got back to the sect, where Nerith eventually grabbed it and wore it, and then was cursed for all eternity.
Stinky.
So it really went full circle.
Hadriel's curse really stuck with Nerith the whole campaign.
It's very sticky. This creepy little girl laughing in your ears. Fucked up.
That boy could not roll above a 5.
All right, Wilkes, give me that D4.
I couldn't roll beforehand.
1.
You got a 1. Okay, question number 2. I'm going to read this because I'm going to read it exactly the way you typed it again.
Yeah.
Because all of Mac's questions were written like this.
It was literally immediate.
Hey, my parents, they live in? Is the question. And as answered with Sorsha, but there's a little bit more information, they do be living. They were 2 of the very few able to find their bodies with the help of Sorsha. And unfortunately, due to the fact that the magic was gone, lived only a few years after. But they did live. They were able to mourn the loss of their son. And before their death, they fled on your father's ship southwards to Olmosera, which is it's a jungle civilization of elves, one of the few from the Vestarian Empire who stayed sort of in a civilized society and did not just flee to the forests, and actually became a refugee center, which you'll hear about a lot in Patria 2. And on the dock, they converted their ship into a little shop that they then sold shortly before their death. So they are buried somewhere in Olmosera. But
What did they sell?
They got to finish alive. Well, they sold what they had left, which was mostly their wine. So maybe there'll be some Miskeep wine memories in Olmosera. But they became a general, fishing goods store that you would find on the coast. Fishing lines, rope, things like that pirates would need, or that sailors would need and whatnot. So they finished their adventure without their son.
No more miskeeps.
No. All right, Nerith, roll a d4.
1.
So question number 3. You can read this one.
Because that last word.
You've heard that word like 30 times a day. That's the Gissera.
Oh.
What happened to Darren's Gissera?
Thank you.
Wasn't this answered in the
Kyle just Thanos
to an extent it was, but there is more. The Gissera, while sentient and alive, were powered hugely by Ara's blood. The crystalline form from the sapphire Goliath, as well as a diamond that used to be Isabel's body that was created by Ara, and that represented her blood on Patria. They stopped working. They went to sleep. They fell asleep in the New Vestarian wilds, and besides maybe Mine, who would have been taken back to the circle as a sign of respect to Nerith, who lost his form, the Gissera were left to sleep in the Vestarian wilds.
We turned one of them into a nice water feature for you.
When
That nice.
when Kyella returned, the Gisra woke up. Their sentience returned, and through something that will be given at the prologue of Patria 2, for some reason or another, their sentience and their life was no longer tied to Aura. Within 100 years, because that's how long it is between Kyella returning and Patria 2 starting, their population grew quite a bit. And you will hear about the famed Nerethians who exist in Campaign 2. Which is pretty dope, I think.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
All right, Bear, give me a D4. That's a good one. I'm excited for you guys seeing the Warforged in P2.
You literally made the Warforged.
Yep. Yeah, but then you pissed off a bunch of other people who were also super smart. Like, well, here, I'll make my own. And they did. 2. So that is question 6. Oh, God!
What is it?
Oh
What?
no.
Oh,
What is
Bear's
the
put-
plan? Foremost!
Oh, yeah.
So, as
Aw.
previously described, he could have been saved. And where he could have been saved is listen, it's mostly my fault that you guys didn't feel the necessity to do this, but I also wanted to keep some things hidden because when you were deciding which quests to go on that mini-series, your characters would not know these things. Garrett could have been found on the side quest one-shot designed to free the ports of Silren.
No.
The clue to his being there was from a scrying that Mackenzie had done after finding out that Garrett was alive, which showed him dripping wet walking on the shoulder of a massive titan underwater. And that scene was his legion attacking the ports of Silren for reasons that are unknown and may become relevant in Campaign 2, but that would have been as your alternate characters, and if you guys had rolled well and decided to do the Silren mission, you could have saved Garrett. Again, it was a side quest. It wasn't meant to be a main plot line. I think either way, Mackenzie would have had the same ending. And hey, at the end of the day,
Old and dead.
at the end of the day, Garrett did come back anyways.
He did come back anyways.
Found
I
you
did
after-
die
after-
right afterwards.
Yeah.
He put a piece of
70
bark over your
years.
face to hide you in a tree. It was great. It was so peaceful. All right,
Oh,
Daria, roll that D4. We're almost done. 2 more rounds of combat left.
Okay. 1.
Okay, question number 3 for Daria.
What's that?
Wow.
Excuse
Whoa.
me?
He's lost it.
I was trying to say Daria is Ariel at the same
Zarya.
time, and I'm like, nope, that's not it.
That's an Overwatch
Um,
champion. Nice try.
Thanks.
Daria.
Zarya.
Zarya. Was Zarya sent back to hell?
Yes, and very likely was demoted by Asmodeus, so we'll see if that becomes
Yes!
relevant in Patria
Yes!
2 and beyond.
Fuck that bitch.
Not
Fuck
only
that
did she
bitch.
disappear for like 200 years, but she was forced out of a very powerful weapon and banished from Patria. So,
Fuck that bitch.
but
All
she
my
does
homies
she
hate
does still
Zarya.
exist.
And she can't even get revenge on me because I died before she could come back.
Get
Fuck
wrecked.
that bitch.
Get
Fuck
wrecked.
that bitch.
It's okay. Your brother lived much longer than you did.
Oh yeah, 100%.
All right, Kai, roll a d4.
Yeah, boy. 4.
That's sound.
4.
It's a 4.
So
Okay.
3.
That's number 2. No, 3 we already asked. We just did 3.
Oh, son of a bitch. Thank you. Wait, did I gray out? Wait. Let me.
I got it. You're good.
And then,
Question number 2. What was the truth behind Kai's parents? Oh god. His dad's death and stuff like that.
Oh, this is a big question, is the thing.
You're welcome.
So everyone's gonna like scream probably. Kai, on his mother's side, was Remnant.
Yeah! Woo! Abner!
Yeah.
In a fit of toddler rage when you were 3 years old, with no control over his emotions, you were somehow able to kill your father.
Oh my
What?
god.
However, being an
Damn.
infernal creature, he did not die. He went back to the 9 hells.
Holy shit.
And your mother fled in fear of you.
Oh my god.
What the
Damn.
fuck?
So
It
what would have happened if you had found your mom? First of all, she was brainwashed to like forget about you type thing, and that's why she never reached out. She was in such fear of what you were at first that she made a terrible decision and begged a high-level wizard to modify her memory and forget you.
Oh my god.
Wow.
And she became
Dark background. Let's go.
this was actually explained to you by Vapora. She became that group of people who basically go between the 4 elemental circles and pass along updates and information. So she just wandered the 4 corners of Valaena, and legitimately there were dice rolls to see if you would run into her, and it just never happened. And you made the decision not to look after her in your after story because of the pain and suffering, which is good because it would not have been good to find her in that state.
Yeah.
But yeah, Kai was a remnant.
Oh my god.
Wow.
GG, Kai.
And
Kai,
that whole
your
thing
life.
was designed to be,
Holy
if we had
shit.
pushed harder into your familial backstory instead of your Jade Singer backstory, the remnant would have been a lot more prevalent in campaign 1. But it just didn't come up at the same speed, so it didn't matter. It was just a plot that I put to the side because you guys had already decided kind of the direction of the campaign. So
And
but yeah,
now the
that was
remnant
was
is
what
a
happened. That's why your mother left you, and that's why
She never
that's what that
reached out.
memory is. It
Holy
was your
shit, I killed my dad.
It was your toddler's
Yeah.
version of PTSD to bury that memory, and instead of make it where you're just hearing crying and not actually what you did. So
Jesus
Oh my God.
crazy.
Yeah, a little bit, a little bit.
Wilkes, roll a d4.
3.
3. So that's 6. Okay, I'm gonna read this again because it's written in Wilkes' tongue.
Let's go.
And I'm gonna read it, and if I yell, it's because it's in caps. What happened to Odie? Please, can he be with me? is what Wilkes asks. And I've got some good news for you, buddy.
Let's go.
Odysseer, after you demanded the priests of the keepers to obey, was brought back from Kaela's plane and returned to you in the keeper's domain.
Yeah.
Fuck the
He
rest
lives
of you, but
mortal alongside you as long as you do as well. So you have your companion. Yeah, you basically manhandled the priests of the overgods to let you break through realities and
Give me
steal
my
a dog
dog!
from heaven.
Give me my dog!
Just a completely
promise I'll take him
wild
for walks.
circumstance.
I'll take good care of him.
The Odie one shot.
The road to Odie. All right, Nerith, roll a d4.
All dogs go to the beach.
4.
Oh, your bonus question. Let's go.
Ding ding ding.
Okay, so this is me asking Nerith a question.
Ooh.
Oh.
So bonus question for Nerith. What would Nerith have done if he had lived?
Is it in the case that Kai died instead of Nerith, or
I'll let you decide.
okay?
You could do both if you want. You have 2 sides of a coin here.
I think
Do
Well,
the
I
happy
feel like-
one. Do the happy one.
The happy
well, I
one.
feel, I, feel like,
The happy
I, feel,
one.
I feel like we all know what would have happened if it was the happy one. I don't know how dark.
We don't know what would
Nerith
have happened
get.
if Kai died.
Yeah.
Do you want to know the dark past?
I kind of want to know the dark.
past of Nerith.
Yeah.
Okay,
I think
Evil
Nick told me.
Nerith.
I changed it a little bit, but because Tyler gave me some info that has affected how Nerith's life will go. So after Kai's death, Nerith would definitely struggle with blaming himself for the selfishness that he seemed it as selfish, or he's not sure how to phrase it. I mean, and he would try and spend as much time as he could with the rest of the knights. And through that time, he'd aid the survivors as much as he could, and try and recover as much information and relics as he could. But over time, his memory began to haunt him, and everything around him began to remind him of Kai and what had happened. And so he opted to leave the Knights and find his own peace, kind of wandering the world, searching for.
You became Mackenzie.
A nomad, yeah.
And he began to search for his Gisera, kind of wandering the Mysterian woods with a cart, and trying to just find them.
like a Walmart shopping cart.
And pick them up and take them. Just try and collect them. But as his years went on, his memory began to fade. First, forgetting his parents and the events of Greenhaven. Next, his knowledge of the world, and thirdly, who he really was. He ended up meeting with a group of nomads, and they gave him a name that he didn't quite understand, but he spent as much time as he could with them, socializing, at least what he called it. And although he never could remember their names, his final hours were filled with the thoughts of 6 magnificent individuals. One who never showed fear and was the bravest soul he'd ever met. Another who was the closest of his friends, and who never failed to bring a smile to his face. The third was a silent but determined friend who was very attached to another. That other was like a sisterhood, whatever that meant. He wondered who she was the most. The fifth was a strange fellow who he envied in a way, wishing to know the wonders he did. And finally, there was only one that he knew as a sort of a name, a heart of jade. And the thoughts of him saddened him, but also made him feel warm. Although perhaps they were watching the whole time. Nerith passed just as the old elves did, due to the bane of the Fey Plague.
Well, fun.
Happy ending.
Like, oddly fucking perfect for this.
Yeah.
Who I know who Mackenzie, I know Bryn, I know who were the
Darius
first
the first
two?
one. Dari was the first one.
Yeah, I thought that was.
The one who never showed fear and was the bravest soul he'd met was Daria, and another was one of his closest friends who never failed to bring a smile to his face was Wilkes.
And were these like faded memories?
Yeah, because Nerith lost his keen
mind.
His memory was like.
Yeah.
Fey Plague.
He got old
the Fey
and
Plague
senile real quick.
I was gonna say the Fey Plague and his intelligence fading and wisdom fading after the blessings of Mallow.
I see.
And
so these were just like
more than just going back to normal.
Yeah.
And he would lose his Eldritch mind.
Yeah,
it was the repercussions,
like visions, essentially.
Yeah, it was the repercussions of of magic leaving and all like the knowledge he had due to magic.
And instead, now you're just a wooden statue.
And instead, his husband did not end up as kind.
No,
not at all.
There will be fables in campaign 2 of the wandering Jade Singer for sure.
Whoa.
All right, Bear, roll the final roll of the night because there's only one question left for everyone after this, so we'll just go
Wait,
down
why-
the road.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, why roll? He has stars too. Ha ha ha.
You have number 1 and number 8, so what's the duality here?
Ooh, duality of man.
The
1 or 4.
duality of man. Let's see. Big money.
You can just flip a coin. Actually.
4.
4. So your bonus question.
Oh, my bonus question.
And I actually answered this kind of, mostly, not really.
Shit.
Do you need help saying that name?
No, it's fine.
Okay, that's an easy one.
Bonus.
Okay, go ahead. We got this.
Who was I had it in my head.
Kybella.
Who was Kybella?
There you go.
Why do we have you
Literally, I had it in my head, and then it got to the word, and I just went like, "Hey, Cybella,
Can
who's
you
Cybella?"
play this goblin in a one shot, please?
Yeah,
Please.
please.
All right, you just let me know when.
Question.
Guest appear and Remen.
I'll do a one shot, and you can.
I
Play this.
love it.
Okay.
Who was Kybella? Was she ever going to tell me who she was?
Yeah, that question.
So Mackenzie, I kind of told you this, or Bear, I kind of told you this in the late night conversation in the Best of Friends Discord. Kybella is a special type of celestial that, and I say this cheekily, I'm sure you'll experience more of while you play Chronicles of Patria. She had no reason to tell you her true identity, as it wouldn't have changed how she trained you. The only thing that I will give you as kind of like a hint is her oracular powers did not stem from any of the gods on Patria, and instead came from one of the keepers.
Okay.
And that is all you get to know, because keepers are elusive.
God, I just
P2.
The elusive man, aka the keepers.
Yeah,
So the
yeah.
keepers is an entirely different pantheon of gods.
Correct.
It's not just like a few people. It's like an
Correct.
entire pantheon. Okay.
Correct.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, those aren't
And I-
mutually exclusive.
I mean, yeah, that's true. That's true.
Okay.
Yay.
Oh, man.
Thank you so much, my goblin assistant. I will walk us through the final questions, since we don't need to
Thank
roll on this one.
God.
Thank you so much, Bubbly.
Bubbly, you didn't have any
I
questions?
love your goblin voice.
I didn't know what.
I didn't know what questions to ask because
You can ask whatever you want. If you have any at the
Yeah.
end, if you want to think for a little bit on anything that Anne may have asked, if Anne was you're welcome to.
Or ask
but
any
yeah.
of us a question.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, about our characters or anything like that.
But
Yeah.
to wrap this up, I'll go through the last question that everyone wrote down. Some of them are, I think everyone's bonus question has been answered, so most of these are just little things, but they're just kind of housekeeping things. So starting with Daria's last question, well, what did the other weapons of Artelicus, aka the spear and the shield, do?
My main
And
question didn't end up on the list.
I was
Damn.
kind of an asshole with my answer. You guys had Vala the whole time.
We could have asked.
Vala still had them contained within her orb.
Really?
It was something that could have been pried out of her memories if you had taken the time. However,
Oh my-
to not feel too bad that you missed something, when the Pantheon was reformed and the new goddess of war entered the Pantheon, replacing Artelicus, his former weapons, the Triumvirants, these 3 weapons of power, including Soulrend,
Oh,
were destroyed and melted down
nice.
to create her new symbol. So it doesn't matter anymore what they did, because they don't
So-
exist anymore.
So
Well,
Soulrun
what
just got
did
ripped out of
they
Darius'
do?
grave.
I don't know, man. I never made them because you fuckers
Damn.
never took them out of the orb.
Can I?
Look,
can I?
man,
Can I
the
ask
orb
the
was
one,
my friend.
Can I ask
The
the
shield
one
would have been a
question that I
+2
really
shield.
wanted to know?
What was your one question? I probably took it out because it's gonna give too much away for P2, but go
I
ahead.
wanted to know Daria's parents.
Oh, they were just like parents.
They weren't
They're like
her
both of the
father.
parents.
Well, because her father wasn't the Wolfpack leader, and her mother wasn't a part of the pack. Because Aaron was like, "Oh, I knew your mom," and I was like, "What do you mean?"
your mother was known to the pack. That whole village was, but they weren't any ranking members of that. They existed within the pack as one of the areas that the pack kind of looked over before they turned a little bit worse. But that's
so.
about
Does that mean Daria had pieces of lycanthropy in her before she was bit by the alpha?
Not directly. You were raised, at least for a time, by people who were familiar with lichens, but they themselves did not have any lycanthropy.
Oh, I see. Gotcha.
So it was akin to, but it honestly it wasn't meant to be super relevant. They died super young. But yeah, no, it was a little bit of a tidbit. So
I was really hoping that the pack leader was my dad, so that I would have killed my dad in one campaign and my mom in another campaign.
Hey, Dad. It's time to... Okay, Kai Veer's final question, which was actually number 1 for them. Golden Tieflings, rarity of his bloodline. What does it mean? Kai asks.
What do the numbers mean?
What do the numbers mean, Mason? So your golden skin is obviously extremely rare. And like all tieflings, your skin color and the way your horns grow is all based on your lineage, on your blood. Whomever your father was/is creates golden tieflings when mating with humans and the like, which if you had gone down that route, knowing that it's a rare color, typically would mean it is either an infernal creature who is less likely to have kids, and that's why it's rare. Like they don't have any lust for mortals or anything like that. Or in the case of your father, who I will not say his name because that's spoilers, was a very, very powerful prince in the Nine Hells.
Damn.
Oh, you're royal.
And in fact,
wait, you killed a prince.
And in fact,
as a toddler.
When after
Buff
all of the
baby
people
God.
died from the Mother's Mercy, after all the elves, so once all of the older generation were killed and everyone who fought in the war, when it was just Kyvir at the end of his life, you were the only golden tiefling on Patria for a time. Not your whole life. There were others that you could have found, but at the end, it was just you.
Wow.
Okay, Wilkes. Perhaps the question that everybody kind of sort of asked, but didn't put it down as their question. Out of the main NPCs, who survived the final fight?
I didn't ask because Max said he asked.
Yeah. So I only have a few names listed. If I forget any, or if you want to ask if one that I just didn't include on this list survived, just let me know. I do have a table of contents on who survived. Farron survived, as already described.
Oh yeah.
Orem survived for a time, but he actually suffered a grievous injury in the fight and didn't survive much past that.
I took care of my dad before he died. Fuck yeah.
Alan survived.
Let's go.
Alan
didn't betray anyone because he's a
The
good guy.
Miskeep parents survived. Jaren survived. The first NPC you guys ever met, Jaren survived.
Hey.
Oh boy.
Lou survived, and Ekne survived.
Whoa.
Did the Benatellan parents survive?
They did not.
Probably not.
They joined the Soul Winds.
Yeah.
Did Logus survive?
Did
Spoiler.
No,
Logus was never alive to begin with, so.
Yeah, also true.
still-
Also true.
Sorry, let me rephrase it. Did Logus live?
No comment. I
Logus
plead
never
the fifth.
lived.
Hey,
I kind of mix between the two.
Richie
did-
Locus is a keeper.
Did Kane survive? And with him, who out of the Venatori from the Venatori one shot survived?
I don't even remember the names of the Venatori one shot.
Okay, so like
Did Gary
Okay,
Green
my
live?
character from the Venatori one shot, did he survive?
He survived, okay?
Max
No,
character
stop,
survived.
stop.
Max was the lead.
Daria, roll a d4.
Okay, D4.
What about Gary Greenhair?
3.
3. So 3 members of the Venatori one shot survived.
Daria, pick him right now.
Okay.
Daria, pick him right now.
Okay, Sir Elric Beldos, because he became the leader after Daria.
5.
The Dragonborn that Nick played,
Ushishan.
5.
Ushashan. Shit.
5.
Fuck.
It's fives or fucking.
5 was so dead. 5 was. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, to be
5
fair, 5s has
totally
like
died.
negative constitution.
so dead.
Chopper survived.
Diaz
survived.
character survived. Diaz
I will
character
say,
survived.
I will put into canon that Chopper survived.
Yes!
Rest in peace, 5s. He could never join his family.
Chopper after everything, Mother's Mercy.
Only because I have this scene in my head where Ushashan and Chopper are the last of their team fighting back to back against hordes of abyssal monsters.
And then out of nowhere, you hear a tumble and roll, and McJarvis comes out of nowhere.
I love it. I love it. Okay,
She bitch.
But what's
Merritt's
also funny,
final question.
I couldn't
Yes.
turn big anymore after.
Yeah, it's the only thing.
Nerith's final question: why did breaking Simon's orb awaken Nerith's ring? This one was super simple. His soul had been attuned to that ring for a very, very long time, and so when his soul was released, it latched onto the closest thing that was familiar to it. So it basically inhabited the ring, and who knows? Maybe Simon is in that ring.
He's like your personal assistant.
Can Nara stop getting objects
Scary.
with other beings are living inside of them? Thanks.
You
guys
and me
had
both. You
so
and me
many
both,
as a
baby.
party.
You and me both, baby. You and me both.
Hey, man.
Can't relate. Like, wait.
Hey, the
First my
last
necklace, then my
question.
armor.
The last
Am-
question is such a downer.
No.
Yeah. Yeah.
Bear's final question.
My final question.
Did Moose the horse retain his intelligence, or did Kyella steal that too? The final
You asked that
question
question.
of a 26-month campaign culminating in the deaths of over 25 million people, and the number one final question that we will fade the black
You
at.
vote. You asked for it.
You asked for this. You
So-
can't change it.
I wrote the answer not knowing this was going to be the last one, but I wrote it again, kind of like an asshole. So the answer is, nope. Even
It is
though-
the bad ending.
Even though Moose was awakened, hold on. Even though Moose was awakened for so long, it was still a magical effect that faded with the Mother's mercies. However, memories are real. Memories are not magical. And so while this horse may not be able to understand anymore, the memories that Moose has were kept. And so a semblance of intelligence remained through these memories. He was not able to learn anything new or communicate the same way and anything like that, but there was sorrow in his eyes when you were sad, and there were moments of triumph when you woke up and were productive, and
So
you
he's
knew
canonically survived.
yeah, Moose
Yeah,
canonically
he's
survived.
Yes! I got one thing.
I got a
Hey,
point.
hey,
I
to
got
be
points!
fair, regardless of how sad it was, technically both mooses survived.
Yeah, that's true.
That's the real thing, is that you got more siblings surviving than any of the other
Honestly,
did the meat meet? Did the meat meet?
Honestly, I'm kind of glad you didn't have
No,
that
horses only
interaction.
live like
where-
20 years.
Oh, that's true. That's
where-
true.
I'm kind of glad because you didn't have that interaction where Garrett realizes that you named him after a horse.
Oh god, that would have been so
Named a horse
sad.
after him.
So, his name's Moose. Huh.
So,
Huh.
if
And then I
there are
awakened.
no, if there are no minor, super pressing questions that you guys have now thought of, I'll give you guys 5 minutes, and then I have 2 little things for you guys
Oh,
to end off this wrap up. But I'll open it up if you guys
Alright.
have any other questions before
So,
that.
in summary, the cause of all of our suffering was Kyella all along.
She
that was
agreed on
Kai's
that.
realization. At the end.
Accidentally, yes.
That was Kai's realization at the end. He was just like,
She
oh
made a
yeah,
mistake.
this was all because of Kyella.
So instead of trying to
Yeah, instead of
make it
taking
better,
responsibility.
taking responsibility, she was like, "Bye guys,
Bye.
Just
So here's
Taking
where
your
I
horse's
want you.
brain.
I want you to step out of your characters for a second and really look at what this meant for a creation goddess. Because I understand that most of you were joking and memeing and stuff, but the reality of it is everything that went wrong was because of a god. And so for her, watching that as a cosmic being no longer bound by a physical form for so long, watched her mistake without any ability to fix it until this moment, and had 1,000 years of watching her children, both the gods and the mortals, kill each other and fight and corrupt and starve and all of this terrible things. And for her, none of that happened before the invasion. For 10,000 plus years, Kyella led an age of prosperity. So she made the ultimate decision that you, through whatever struggle it may be, deserved the right to try alone. And in fact, as you'll hear in the prelude to campaign 2, which you guys will get probably in October or November, when she comes back, there is a scene before she basically banishes the gods from carrying physical forms, and it will be banished to all be cosmic beings like she was. Where she explains not that she thinks that her disappearing for 250 years was a mistake, but she calls out the triumphs. You know, the refugee nation of Olmosera, which you guys are going to hear a lot about, was a snooty princedom of the elven empire of Asteria and turned into a safe haven for millions of people who were fleeing the torment that everyone was experiencing. The Flintgate garrison became the capital city of the new Anzal Empire and led to a period of prosperity again, and where nations were at peace. When the gods came back immediately, the gnomes and some of the dwarves in the northern regions created their own version of the Warforged. And even the protection that they did, the weaponry that was created, you know, guns, cannons, things like that didn't exist with her allowance. She took that as proof that she had done the right thing no matter how much it hurt. Because it was at least your decision and there was no fate guiding your way. So you'll hear more of that in Patria too, but that's how I look at the ending. Of regardless of the suffering, and for the 6 heroes or the 5 heroes that survived it, there's more there. There's more to happen. So, any other questions?
Nope.
No.
Will major factions that played roles in
Will the
this
Venatori
campaign
be in P2?
No, like will things like you know, the circle make another appearance in P2 if we decide to go there? Like, did these things survive? Like the big things that survived afterwards?
It's gonna be super fun to find out in Patria too.
I hate you.
You guys don't
can't
want
wait
to
to
know. You don't actually want to know.
No, I don't.
I want to
You
find
want
out.
your
I mean,
new characters
yeah,
to discover this as if for the first time.
Yeah.
You're right, but I'm gonna
Listen.
pretend to be angry anyway.
So I have
Yeah.
2 fun little things to give both anyone who's listening out there and the recording, as well as all of you who are super excited for Patria 2. So one is I have a little teaser for the Remnant campaign.
Ooh.
Just a small little brief statement that kind of puts you in the world that is going to be explored. And then I have a short description of the new world of Patria for campaign 2. So,
Get your notes out.
for the Remnant,
I don't really
thank
know.
you to Bear for writing this statement.
I wrote it in a 98-degree car.
You did great.
Hey, let's go.
Long gone is the age of heroes. Mother's mercy rattling the plains to their very cores. Whereas most of Patria lost all magic, with the power of the Ascendancy, magic was saved in the Feywild. Within the darkness of a lost city, a band of misfits from the town of Sorrows answer the call of a mysterious and old archivist. Dive deep into the grave of the Remnant. And that's what you have to look forward to for the Remnant series. Very exciting.
I like that record scratch.
It was great. It was perfectly
great
timed.
timing.
It was
Yeah.
so perfect.
Why
And
does
now,
so much manage to happen so well?
I've teased you guys a lot. You guys have gotten your first gazette from me on what to expect from campaign 2 in terms of some outlines. The world builders have been going crazy. There's currently over 30 active threads spewing out information on what's happening. It's very, very exciting. I want to introduce you to 2 things. One is the Solana Desert. The desert existed during the original campaign up until the year 907 when the campaign ended. But over the 350 years between these 2 campaigns, the desert grew. No longer held back nearly as strongly by the magical forest that the elves maintained, the desert expanded both northwards, westwards, and southwards. And a new power joined the Solani Desert, the Soul Winds. worshipped by a group of sand elves, nameless to most. They used the soul winds as a way to tell prophecy. Select individuals who had seemingly innate abilities from being born in this desert were able to listen on the winds for messages. While most civilized people agreed that this wind was just a natural phenomenon, the pale heart thread disappearing over time, believed that the soul winds were nothing more than a legend. The other thing I want to share is the new city of Flintgate. A sign of what humanity can do without the interruption of gods. A massive fortress of over 6 million people. The vast majority of the survivors of Patria fled to large cities that offered protection, while a handy amount went south to Olmacera and Leonora, which is the capital of. The majority of them went to a city that seemed already well defended, Flintgate. Through generations, the city of Flintgate carved tunnels through the mountains and invented the very first steam train engine, allowing them to navigate around their stretching metropolis faster than ever before. And shortly before the start of Campaign 2, begin to connect other nearby settlements via this new rail system.
Let's go!
Yo, are we meeting on a train?
Oh yeah, boy!
Train!
The city
Bullet
itself,
train, here we come.
I'm making a new character. He's just a train conductor.
he's just a train conductor.
That's it. You can never leave
The
the train.
city itself guarded by a legendary faction of firearm specialists.
Me.
Known as the Flintlock Carve. I think is the name we're sticking to. That might change. But known as the Flintlock Carve, this group of upper echelon fighters were able to protect Flintgate before even the guards on the walls were able to see a threat. Many of them becoming trained in sniper fire, able to shoot a target more than 1,000 feet away. And when the magic returned to the world, without the need to worship a god, the metropolis of Flintgate infused both their weapons and their transportation with arcane magic.
Excuse me.
Are you telling me we got flying trains?
That's all you get for now.
Oh
My
got
God!
bullet
I'm putting
We
this
got
out.
bullet
I'm
trains.
manifesting this. If we're on a train session 1, I'm meeting the conductor.
Tyler,
And
Tyler.
I'm gonna
Do you guys
convince
want
him
one
to
more?
give
Do you
me
guys
his
want one
hat.
Hold
more?
on, hold on,
Yeah,
hold on. Tyler. I had a dream. I had a dream about fighting a dragon on a train.
Oh
Okay.
God, this.
Swear to
He's
God.
told me this dream.
Hey, Lou is
So
alive.
many times. So many times.
I
You
swear
guys
to
can
God,
fight a dragon the size of a mountain.
if we
That'd be
don't
pretty
fight a
sick.
dragon on a train, I
Okay,
would
do you guys want one more little
Yeah.
extra?
Yes.
Okay, I'm not including the location because we haven't fully decided. But
Fair.
somewhere on the western edge of Patria, on the continent of Valaenia, lies a ruin buried in dust, snow, and rock. Excavators have begun finding clues to a long-lost city. But it doesn't make sense. Spread out over miles and miles of farmland and mountain are pieces of buildings and shattered glass and books that can no longer be read. Eventually, a historian, something rare in the world of Patria, was able to determine that one of the locations that was being researched was none other than the ruins of Locktown, a long-thought missing city that used to roam Patria from the skies above. And some of the magic that was lost with Locktown is returning. Okay, that's it. That's all you get.
Hey, that's cool.
You guys got all sorts of shit going on. You guys got trains,
Trains
and
now!
automobiles.
Yeah,
I know where my guns came from.
Tyler,
trains, not automobiles.
I'm telling you this now. The conductor's gonna give me his hat. Free will.
Free will. If not, I will beat the conductor up.
No.
Forcibly, without
No.
Moth knowing.
I'm gonna ask him nicely for his hat, and he's gonna give it to me.
I mean,
That is my goal.
All right. I want to thank everyone who tuned in and hopefully those who listen in on the podcast. Thank you so much again, everyone who played in the campaign and watched and had fun in it. I'm extremely excited for Patria 2. The Remnant will be streamed, or rather recorded and then released on Mondays for everyone to watch, which will be super, super fun. As well as a couple other fun little one-shots and stuff that should crop up between now and January, more or less. Yeah, I think that's where we'll pick up. Probably knowing how crazy after holidays is, it'll probably be the 9th at the very earliest, but probably the 16th.
of January?
Of January.
I see.
But you know what cool stuff you can check out in the meantime?
Remnant.
Remnant!
Session
The
0
age-
next Sunday.
And
Let's go.
the age before the
I
heroes?
have a real quick
Question
question I
mark?
just thought of.
Yes, Kai, what's up?
Will there be any more Kylor in the Remnant campaign?
In
Maybe?
the Remnant campaign,
I mean,
there will be links to some things that you could have discovered. It may not make sense within the context of Kai, but it's definitely going to start peeling back the layers for sure.
It's gonna have a lot of cool stuff to learn about the Remnant.
Also, I'm not a part of it at all. I'm just a player.
I do want to.
He is one of my prisoners.
I do want to run a one-shot miniseries that takes place during the time of when Simon was big, but we follow a bunch of lowly adventurers,
Oh hell yeah!
like
Right.
the age
That's
before
the
the heroes.
Well, the Age
no,
of Heroes
Simon was part of
started
Age of
with
Heroes.
Simon's rise to power, so that
Oh,
would be
true.
that would be what kicked it off, which is perfect.
Yeah,
The Age of
The
Zero.
beginning of the end.
the age
I
of zeros.
All right, I'm gonna cut the recording there. Thank you, everybody.
Bye.
Yeah.
Peace.
Bye.
Okay, but also, is the stenographer gonna make a sound when I stop recording? I'm super
Oh,
sorry.
no.
Everybody's on-
Come on,
Here we
come
go.
on, say something.
You guys ready? You guys ready? Here we go.
Yeah.